Welcome to the Wrath of Aquarius podcast. This is Matthew speaking. In this episode, we interview Donna Burawa and Sam Volpi, and we talk about pretty much just the process of growth and universal truths. Pretty much just growth and everything in general. We do episodes Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, and I hope you guys enjoy this episode.
Okay, so Sam was telling me how when she meditates, she uses a pendulum. And that got me thinking. So obviously when you use a pendulum, like, it physically shows you yes, no, maybe, and whatever options you give it. And when you see it move, that is, like, definitively, like, an other. Like, not you doing that.
Yeah.
That is some spirit out there, a sign from the universe. Some impulse and force is pulling that.
I was telling Donna, too, that, like, it was earlier today, I made sure I didn't have any caffeine. I was, like, fresh out of bed, really just, like, feeling, like, good and, like, in a good mood. There was no shakiness. And I was like, oh, it's really telling me yes or no today.
Which I think is crazy, but it leads me to wonder when other people meditate and they think out loud when they're, like, setting their intentions or asking for things or just, like, trying to figure things out. And then you feel it within you or that you hear it back. But now it leads me to wonder, is that my inner consciousness bringing things to light that I was not previously aware of, or someone putting that in my mind?
I don't know, that's a tough question.
But after hearing the pendulum, I feel like it has to be an other. Because why would it be this outside force, only this one method of meditating? So you can only have access to this way of meditating only if you have a pendulum or some other thing? Like, I feel like this would be something we're doing all the time. So if you can, like, if you feel someone's responding to you, or if you, like, have these thoughts in your head, maybe you're not creating them and someone put them in there. And you were asking for it, and that's the way they delivered it. And it's just a different means that they can communicate to you, but there's, like, no single thing that produces a single different type of answer.
It kind of confused me.
Like a pendulum?
I understand exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, I feel like that they're able to... It's, like, only pictures, because I don't know if it's actually possible for them to, like... If, say, like, a third person, like, trying to communicate with us, I feel like it would be more, like, vibes. Like, vibration types things, or, like, pictured in your head. I don't think they can actually, like, talk. Because, like, I don't, like, how the fuck
Because I was
are you
saying,
because
it's like, am I really meditating to only learn about myself through myself? Or am I contacting an other? And that's what I'm hearing. Like, is it me listening to, like, is it the angel devil on my shoulder? Is that what I'm accessing when I do that? Is that why that's a cartoon thing that exists and it's put out there? Or is it really someone else who is able to channel themselves into me when I ask for it?
Well, we're asking the universe, henceforth, a third party, for guidance. You know, you're not really gonna, like, ask yourself, can I have some help today? Like, you normally, like, ask, like, a different person. You don't normally ask yourself. So I feel like that is it suggests more that there is somebody else and that it's not just reliant on our subconscious.
I guess so.
I feel like there is I feel like it's like, what are you tuning into? Because, like, I feel like that if you just ask, like, anything, because, like, I feel like you need to have an intention, because it's like, okay, the universe, but you need to, like, have, like, what the universe means to you in your mind as you're asking for it. Because, like, if you just ask for, like, oh, anything, like, come in, like, anything's gonna come in, like, bad, good.
And then also, if you ask for vague things, you're going to get vague answers and you won't even know if that is the answer. And then you're going to be overthinking the wrong shit for such a long time because you assume the universe felt some type of way because you only gave it the energy that you're receiving. Literally, everything is equal. The energy, even, like, when you give it out to the spirits, that is equal back as well. Like, if you're going to pussyfoot this whole spirituality thing and not dive into it, you're really not going to get anything out of it.
Yeah. You get as much as you put into it as you get out.
And if you're trying to, like, reach in deep and figure things out, if you really invest in that, and yourself, I guess, by the same means, then you'll get that back, hopefully. Because I feel like, I don't know. Now I'm overthinking. I'm like, wait, are there signs I'm overlooking? Because everything I ask for is pretty vague.
I usually do.
Do you really believe that, like, the energy transference is equal? Or, like,
Or at least reciprocated in that same manner. Because it's like because if every energy was like, had to be equal, then you could never change your energy. And there has to be like X amount of people who have that energy. Like, that's energy you're born with. I feel like it wouldn't be as fluid if, it was like fixed. Because if we're equal, that means like, I don't know.
I feel like if we're equal, then why do people feel drained? You know, we complain all the time. I don't know if you do that. We hang out with certain people and it's like they suck the energy out
vampires.
of us.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like how
it's because that they are always
energy?
craving attention and they always want everybody else's attention, so it's just like they'll do anything to kind of like just leech off of you and shit like that. So it's just like, oh my god, you're so much, like, because you feel like that you're literally carrying two energies in one. Because they're codependent, so they're like, they are not independent people, so
exactly,
that's why they're like, oh, I need someone else's, like, you know,
I need their emotional intelligence now. I just think it's weird that people can really sense what people are good people to suck energy from. Like, it's like, I guess I would say that person gives off like a certain type of aura that makes them more friendly and approachable. Because like, we were also like, Sam and I were talking earlier about how I feel like I'm usually boo-boo the fool. Like, my energy is always robbed from me from people who are so undeserving of my time and respect. Maybe not respect, because that I'll be pretty equal with. But I don't know. I just wonder sometimes, like, why me? Like, why are these people flocking to me in masses? Like, is my energy like appealing and good enough to take, or do they just think that I'm welcoming, or do they physically like want my energy? Because it's like good. Like, are they trying to take mine, or did you just know that they can abuse mine? Because it's so welcoming.
To, like, protect ourselves from that, like, to like keep what we have, like, if we need it. Like, is there any way to like ward off the suckers?
I would say everything is a reflection of yourself. So I usually, a lot of people come towards me like this that like I find undesirable, I'm like, okay, then what do I really need to look about myself? Like, why, like, because I feel like that problems kind of like manifest in my life to like see a physical 3D instead of like inside. It's like everything like inside projects outwards. And then like a lot of like situations I'm in, like, you know, so I don't know, because I find that in a lot of my like relationships as well, because I'm just like, yo, because like it's a shitty situation, but I'm like, but it's like something that I need to like focus on. Like, why did I attract that person?
Something that you posted today resonated with me. It was, oh my god, what the heck was it?
Pull up the Instagram.
Oh my god,
what a good time to plug.
Plug my Instagram.
Yeah, plug it.
Okay.
What was
my phone? I don't really know where my phone is, but
I forgot what I posted.
You post so many good things.
Thank you.
Okay, maybe it'll come back to me. Someone steal the spotlight.
But yeah, it really leads me.
I forget what I post sometimes.
I was a white picture.
I feel like I can taste what the words were, but I can't really tell you what they were.
I feel that.
No, I feel like it's so weird. Like, I feel like I can always get so close to a word, and like
it's always at the tip of your tongue, and you're like, ugh.
No, literally, I can
like, I wish I could just project
I could
pictures.
Taste this word. There was like a certain feeling that it left me with, but I can taste.
Is it this one? There's only one with the white box.
Story.
Oh, it was on my story.
Cookie?
Not yet.
Wait, that one.
This?
No, the other
This?
That one. No! This one. What? Read it.
Oh, okay, yes. The minute you decide you want better for yourself is the minute you... Hold on, let me... Cut that out. Why am I talking over here? I have my phone in my hands. Okay. The minute you decide you want better for yourself is the minute the entire universe begins to shift in your favor. Your declaration, command, intentions, visions, and prayers begin the creation of the new reality. All you have to do today is decide to never look back. Yes. When you want better for yourself, you're just pretty much putting all your like energy and attention into yourself. So like what you said before was that as much as you get in is as much as you get back, you know? So it's like the more you put into yourself is the more you're going to get out of it.
And the more you're gonna heal, and the more you're not gonna give a fuck about what other people care about you and whatnot. You become more sure of yourself.
So,
Because you know who you are.
if, like, we are pretty good to ourselves, I feel like the three of us, and we're such good vibes overall, I really feel like people just take it. And when we recognize that somebody isn't good for us, is it bad of us to no longer, like, cut them, like, to no longer associate with them and to cut them off?
No, it's not bad. If they're not good for you, like, cut them the fuck off. Like,
They're only
that's
gonna
what I do.
exist to drain
I'm just
you.
like,
It's not worth it.
I fucking cut everybody off, like,
I
Good.
feel like that's what I've been doing too. I'm like,
Do you
I
feel
It's not-
better?
don't even, like, I feel like I'm spending more time with you, and I feel like that's, like, overall, like, making me have a better experience.
Maybe
'Cause
that
I
was
have
something that
to-
was made to happen, you know? Because I feel like there was different times in my life where weird scenarios pushed me closer to people, and I really didn't think that there was, like, a pattern what was happening. But overall, like, the direct effect or series of events had that effect.
Yeah.
So I'm like, is that, like...
I feel like our lives kind of parallel each other.
Yeah, that's really weird.
lot of
It's like we knew
ways.
that we needed each other, but we didn't. The universe knew, and they pushed us together at those times when it was happening.
And it was like
Everything's
When-
like
when
this.
we
one
needed each
time.
other.
It was,
Exactly.
no, I've never.
It's like you're
felt
there
like-
for each other
It's
because
like
you both
we're-
had similar
yeah.
issues.
Yeah,
And
we were
then
about
we
to have
just,
the
like,
same
shared
experiences, I
everything.
guess. And it just put us in the right place in the right time every time. That's so weird.
Exactly.
We were saying before we saw you that we've been hanging out since Friday, and I feel like she just got here.
Yeah, I could literally never get
Shit.
sick of her.
It's crazy.
That's
I'm just-
awesome, though.
Like,
I
our
have that
energy
with my
is
friend
just
John,
continuing.
so it's like, I understand the feeling.
You should.
I feel like our podcast definitely could have been like half a year. Like, if you really wanted to pick it apart, that's crazy.
5 hours into 3 years.
Did I say 3 years?
No, I said
Oh.
3 years because I feel like that we actually can probably dissect it into 3 years.
There's just a lot to be said.
It really is.
And if that's how much we covered in like 5 hours, like,
And we
This
didn't
whole
even
time-
know it was 5 hours.
no.
I thought it
we
was,
time
like, 2.
traveled.
I was like, oh shit, like it should be like 2 hours, and I check it's like 5. I was like, are you fucking
No
for
way,
real right now?
exactly.
That's
And every time we
crazy.
checked, it was
I
like
gotta end.
32. Something was like 32 every time.
Oh, the 323 shit that I was talking about, 232, and also
Yeah.
yeah, I also have a weird thing with numbers. I don't know if you know about this stuff like numerology.
Like, is that when you just like 5 times 20, you would like immediately know it?
No, it's like astrology
It's like
shit.
it's like
Oh.
seeing the number
Just people are
everywhere.
just like,
It's-
oh my
it's
God,
an
angel
affirming
numbers.
sign. Like, if
It's like
people
555,
I've
like
heard
all those
people
repeating
talk about
numbers.
It before.
Oh,
I've
okay.
never
Yeah.
had that with me though.
Because like
What does it
sometimes
It's so weird. Like, I don't know. Like, people are just like, oh my God, like different fucking numbers mean different things or whatnot. It's just really fucking weird. Like, I'm like, about it, but like, I keep seeing my birthday everywhere and 32
Weird.
and 23. Weird as fuck.
Is my voice vibrating?
Is your voice vibrating? Why? Because of my car?
Because the car is vibrating.
Yeah,
I'm
my car
vibrating, but
purrs.
my voice definitely isn't.
I was gonna say that I feel like tapping into the universe is like tapping into like a pool of energy. So it's pretty much
Yeah.
like how much like you take is what you get. You know? I feel like it's like infinite, but it's just like it's like scooping in, taking the energy, and then, you know?
Yeah, I do. And to go back to
Because the
something-
universe is like infinite, you know? It's
It
not gonna-
is.
it's not
That's
gonna run out.
honestly terrifying.
'Cause
Like,
that's
if
what I feel
the
like people
oceans
think
are this
God
big where we
is.
can't explore it, imagine what's going on in the universe. We literally know nothing. We know
No.
so little.
And then we think we know it all. And then that fucks us because it makes us less inclined to make advancements.
True. People have their heads like so far up their asses.
Yes.
Especially a lot of Americans.
Exactly, though.
Yeah.
It's because I feel like we're in, like, the state of the ego.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, we're supposed to be ascending into more of, like, a compassionate, like, from your heart type stuff. But, like, we gotta, like, flesh out all these fucking issues and solve them first. It's like, it's not gonna, like, magically disappear. It's like, nah, we're gonna have a lot of, like, fucking conflict and
I have hope.
a lot of fighting, probably.
Yeah.
But I hope not a lot.
we've come a decent way, but not enough. And it just leads me to wonder, like, I want to know, compared to back then and now, what the timeline has really been like.
What do you mean?
For certain things. Like, so obviously there's still a lot of bigotry and hatred in the world today that I feel like is so stupid. Like, how can we still hate people based off this invented idea of race? Like, that's so fucked. And in 2020, so many people, unfortunately not all people, are so upset and confused by the fact that that's still dividing people. And for other people, they're just like, okay, like, this is like the way to be. Like, how can you really not get over that? And like, we came so far from hundreds of years ago, but like, going forward, like, really, how long is this gonna take? Like, you would hope that we would be better and faster at it, because I feel like there was an exponential, like, increase of things becoming better in the world.
I feel like we're definitely
when are we gonna
up.
learn how to be better? Like, why are we still trying to convince the rest of us to be better?
Yeah.
And why is it so hard?
I don't understand why it's so hard for people to just be nice to people.
I know, right?
Like,
and
why
it's
is that
because
such a difficult
Because they want to
concept?
put themselves above people, and that's something they can't change.
I feel like it's
so they pick at that.
I feel like it's because people are in a lot of pain and they're really just holding it back. So when they go to like talk to other people, they just don't have like the nicest in them because they're in a lot of pain. They're jealous of other people and shit like that. So they're just like,
And I hate how
they
that pain can
spew
be
it
taught,
out,
though.
but then they like also after they do it, they realize, and then they like go into a whole spew of like guilt and whatever and beating themselves up. So it's like a whole cycle of like shitty vibes that people get stuck in, and then like some people get caught up in that, and you're just like, whoa, get me out of that shit, you know? You gotta like
I always say
stay clear of those people.
It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be
But you can't take it out on people.
Exactly. You can't be
And
an
that's what
ass.
they do. That's what they do.
That's so shameful.
They hold it in and then they spew it out on people and shit like
You're
that.
gonna
when they don't
project
deserve
all
it.
the bad energy you have onto other people. And for what?
And it's always, well, I can't say always, but a lot of times it's the people that like they're closest to and that they love. Like I know
Yeah.
when I was a little kid, I would take out like my frustrations on my mom. Like out of everybody in my house, like I was more prone to like give her an attitude versus anybody else. So like that was me taking out like my frustrations on my mom, and she was and still is the closest person that I am to today. So I don't do that now, or I try not to. But I just always feel like it's always the people that love you the most and that you love more the most.
Because, you know, they'll come back from it because they can take it. As much as it hurts, they'll still take it because they love you. And that's something that really fucks up. And going back to what you said earlier about vibes, I found it really interesting that you said we are good vibes. Not we have good vibes, like we just like merely possess
It's
them
because
for a
we are
period of time.
vibrations and frequencies.
Yeah,
It's
that
like, that's
we
what
are
makes us all
good.
up. We're all
It's like-
vibrating.
Yeah.
Everything is a particle. Nothing's staying still. Everything is a particle fucking moving really fucking fast. We're all just made up of particles that are moving really fucking fast.
I just
you know?
think that really kind of says that. Oh my god, what the fuck was I trying to get at? No.
before.
Okay, so that means that instead of possessing good, like we are good. Like inherently, like we are a good vibration. That's what I got. Like that's what I really felt from what you said. Instead of just like, oh, like we're normal and like now we're good. It's like compared to some other vibrations of people, like we are the good ones. That is very like static in our lives.
In a couple of philosophy classes that I took, they always like give the question, can anything be truly good and truly bad? And I feel like to say that we are good, I don't know what I think.
Well, comparatively to other vibes, I would say so, but that doesn't mean that like we are through and through 100%, you know? Because it's like while the term good is static, what we do within that is dynamic. But also there's a lot of things that we could fumble through and we still have a good character, you know? Like,
or we'll reflect on it and grow.
Exactly. Like it's all part of the growing process, and we're not doing it like out of malicious intent. So I feel like, I don't know, it's good natured is the word I'm looking for. Like everything's just like, I don't know, not out of spite.
I feel like that there is no such thing as fully good or fully bad.
Yeah,
It's like
no.
you need the balance of both of the things.
The yin
it's
and
like,
yang. That's why that
exactly,
shit
it's like-
exists. They know what's up.
Yeah, it's like you need to harbor both things in order to be. It's like there's like you can't be fully good. It's impossible. It's like it's just an unattainable fucking thing. It's like there's always gonna be shit wrong and happening. It's just that you just gotta fucking understand that it's just gonna happen and just, I don't know, be happy, see the good in things.
It's necessary. Because also, without the bad, how would we know what good is? You'd have no basis of comparison. You would have appreciation for nothing. Everything that is felt, happens, experienced, you're all told what it is then. Like, what is even the point then? You have nothing else to compare it to. Yeah.
It's like The Giver.
Too bad I didn't finish reading that book in class.
Oh, I watched the movie.
Someone else
didn't
said
even watch
that. I
that.
feel like I was having this specific conversation with someone else too, and they said exactly that too. And I'm like, that's crazy as fuck. Something's telling me to read The Giver again.
I think, if we dig it up, maybe there'll be some other truths in it that we really...
That I didn't comprehend as a child, yeah.
Because I was going to say...
it then.
It's good.
You see how we say that, like, maybe we're having this conversation for, like, a reason, because it has to be heard? Like, what if these, like, authors were speaking, like, these certain things out, like, to achieve the same thing, you know? Because obviously this is word of mouth. This won't really catch on far unless the shit spreads like wildfire and, like, everyone has access to that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, like, people just, like, picking up books and reading them. Like, the wealth of knowledge there, and the way that some authors, like, actually might know, like, how to channel, like, what they're hearing into that.
But also, like, that movie, I didn't actually read the book. I only saw the movie, so I can't, like, speak for it. But the movie was filmed in black and white, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And so everything that was, like, drab and miserable was filmed in gray. And then as the main character, he accumulated more knowledge, he started to see more colors.
Mm-hmm.
Who's to say that we're not, like, fully experiencing what we think is normal to us? Like, those animals, there's, like, that shrimp that sees, like, 16 different colors that we can't see. Like, how do we know that we're not doing the same thing?
And there's
like,
this...
what are we missing out on?
There's even humans who say they can experience more colors. I'm like... Literally, even right now, the color of your jacket is definitely different to, like, all of us.
Probably.
Literally everything in our lives is relative to us. It's like the kind of, like, the idea of, oh, I'm definitely the main character when people are talking about that shit on TikTok. But it's like, you know what?
We are all the main character.
You're the main character.
Exactly.
And in my life,
we're all
I see...
fucking, like, Sims in one big world, but we're all, like... our own person, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like this whole world is just like a sandbox, and we're all just like here, conscious beings, just to kind of like...
So it's like The Matrix
create
and like every other like fucked up sci-fi movie ever.
Yeah, they're right. Maybe that's why so many of them feel that way, because they're all doing certain themes because they know that is the truth.
And they all like dictate our demise being technology.
Mm-hmm.
Like every single one of them.
Because technology is evil. It pulls us out of the now, and we just keep feeding energy into that thing. It's so supposed to be a tool and not a lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Because then
that now.
And scary how much that is evolving, and we've stopped. We're pouring our energy into that world, and they keep on advancing. The fucking iPhone 12 was out 2 seconds after the last one.
Yeah.
When the hell that happened, I don't know. But humans have halted.
I feel like that, like,
we're at a stalemate.
Yeah, exactly. Because I feel like that, like, it's like a fucking vampiric, like, other entity that, like, came to, like, this fucking earth to, like, siphon off of our fucking energy and shit like that. Because, like, what if we are trying to, like, hatch this weird, like, I feel like it's, like, say if we have a consciousness, what's to say that other things can go into another, like, vessel to, like, bring about itself, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what if it's trying to get us to manifest itself a body, like a cyborg or something like that,
thinking.
And then this other fucking entity just swoops in and then just kills us all.
I think that's what I was trying to explain last time too.
Because I feel like that we're just harboring this weird cocoon thing of like, and then like we're like creating the devil,
more like not female, human.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the
we want them to be us.
Yeah.
They want to be us.
It's fucking scary. They want all of our information.
They body snatched without taking our actual bodies, but it's done enough damage already because they really got like our spirit.
Y'all, I really hope we don't post this and all like disappeared mysteriously.
All that. Post this before we die, please.
I'll set it on a schedule. I'll fucking record it after this and I'll post it to YouTube.
Because Instagram. Because Instagram, if Instagram can see, so literally, if some one-off meme account posts a meme now that has the word sick or pandemic in it or any more obvious trigger word, it will post, go to this website for more CDC facts on COVID. And I'm like, all right, but who is reading this post? So I'm like, deadass, like, who would be listening to your posts? Like, the AIs are constantly aware. Yeah. Obviously, we know that they're, like, not baiting us, but, like, they're, like, preying on us so that they can bait us with these hyper-specific ads, all these things that we think are, like, mysteriously happening to our computer or subconscious, like, they've been planting because they've been getting information.
Things going on in our computer?
Like, you would be scrolling on, like, Google, and it's like there's more things coming up that relates to, like, a restaurant you talked about the other day.
Okay, all right.
And you're like, why am I seeing these, like, on this website? I feel like that shouldn't be there. So it's like, they're definitely listening to the videos. So, anyways, we're not talking about AIs right now.
Maybe it's just a fucking trigger word that, like, you, like, say it, and they just have an algorithm, and it'd be like, if that video had
the fact that it could even hear that, like, terrifies me.
What I don't understand, like, there's no way, with the amount of input of information our devices are getting from us, that it's being analyzed by humans.
Yeah.
Like, we would not have the capacity to do that.
This wouldn't be useful to us.
This is, yeah, exactly.
How can you break an algorithm to dissect such obscure things? I feel like it's just...
So you're thinking that the entity's trying to read us and fucking...
Yeah, how can a human code how to learn other humans?
So did we create this entity? Or are we talking about something other?
I think we gave it the means.
Yeah, we're eating it. I feel like that it just kind of like came here.
It's the portal. Like in movies, they create a portal so the other like entity can like bust through and do its thing, and that's how it's able to execute everything. Like we just gave it its portal. So what the fuck do we? Exactly. What do we need to smash to fix it? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Like what?
The government.
How do we fucking close this?
Is that the portal? And then the technology came out of that.
Portal.
Because like
the way the government's
did you guys
listening
watch
right
American
now?
Horror Story?
Which one?
Apocalypse.
Yeah.
No. Okay, so I'm gonna spoil this for you because this shit's fucking crazy. So, pretty much, like have you guys ever watched it? Like, do you know
I saw like A Murder House and The Asylum.
Oh,
and
you didn't see the witch one?
I started it.
Fuck. Okay, so it has witches in it, and pretty much the fucking Antichrist gets risen, and then they pretty much were saying in the show that all the world leaders and big business people all were like in cahoots together to pretty much just try to summon the Antichrist, and they were all like extreme Satanists and shit like that, and then they like rose the Antichrist, and there was a huge zombie apocalypse shit.
So is that like the Illuminati with like Jay-Z and like Beyonce? Is that what it was like?
That's what they were like. That's what they were like getting at. It's like the Illuminati and shit.
I do believe that that's real. How can humans think of that? And like, how can all of these coincidences be so?
I don't really understand that. Like the Illuminati in general.
I just want to know who is this? Like, there has to be a single head. Like, who is running it?
I just remember all like the memes and like middle school. Like everyone was like, "Oh my god, the Illuminati's listening," like all that.
Yeah.
I didn't know like what it actually was. I thought it was something that was started by the founding fathers.
There's the New World Order, and that's similar to that, and that's generally where I think they get most of their school of thought from, is the New World Order, because I think Illuminati and the New World Order are interchangeable.
You're thinking about the Freemasons.
Yes.
Oh. Wait, I thought that's the same thing also. I thought they were all the same thing. The Freemasons, New World Order.
It's like the Illuminati. It's like it's all got misconstrued. Like Freemasons were originally for like
different people.
A lot of like spiritual practices and shit like that, and they were like good, but then they got flipped to bed for propaganda purposes and shit like that. So like that's when they like started being like, oh, Illuminati, New World Order, to like kind of like muddy the water, I guess. Because that's what they did, that's what Christians did with a lot of, like, spiritual people back then. Like, like, when they were like, yo, burn witches and shit like that. But it was really just, like, spiritual people. And then they were like, oh, they're Satanists, they worship the devil and stuff like that, to scare people away from those practices, so they stay in, like, the Christian stuff. So, like, they fucking, they pretty much infiltrated groups and then, like, turned them. It was fucked up.
Yeah.
That was when the church was the government and shit like that.
Yup.
Do you guys think we're any better to our ancestors? Like, what we're doing, what we continue to do as a society, like, are we any better than them?
I feel like we're waking up more. We're just pretty much in a battle with what was already established.
The thing is,
trying to work around that and tear it down to build up anew.
while we're increasingly gaining greater potential for getting more good out of life and putting more good into life, we're also giving ourselves the means to be even worse. So it's like before, like, yeah, like, I can't say that we're better or worse than before. Maybe, like, I don't know, because it's like, literally, I forget the science word for it, but it's that graph that just, like, goes up pitch at a 45-degree angle because it's equal at both sides. Like, the same amount of bad. No, it's not exponential. I forget the word, but it's like this, for all of the good things we gain the same amount of bad things. Because the more we learn about how to be good, the more ways we know how to unlearn that. Because, like, if everything's opposite, we would be learning just as much of the bad shit. So it's like, while we're gaining capabilities to be better, we're making ourselves capable of doing worse.
I really see it as like what not to do. You know,
True.
it's like okay,
but more
don't
people
do
aren't
this.
following that should be.
Yeah.
You'd think that we'd really learn from our history, but it keeps on repeating itself.
Well, like, that begs the question, like, were we taught the right history?
No.
No.
I don't think so either.
Because it only benefits America.
Does
History's written by the winners, so pretty much the people who fucking died aren't going to tell the truth.
Yeah.
So the people who won are just like, oh, we were victorious, we were fucking altruistic, going in there, and then, you know.
So does anyone know the real history of Earth then? Like, where was...
That's
gotta
fucking
be
true.
something that's left out.
Yo,
Yeah.
That's true, because, like, how do we know that, like, everybody didn't fucking collectively get
Like,
together and be like, yeah, this is, like, what we're gonna fucking tell people and shit like that?
Really?
Because, like, what if, like, in Antarctica, there's a hole in the Earth, and they're not telling us, and that's why they're like, yo, you can't fly over Antarctica.
Or maybe people have really taught themselves, okay, so obviously anyone who was prejudiced against obviously knows the truth. They fucking lived it. They weren't the delusional ones who were being, like, forcing other people into that situation. So it's like a lot of other people were in denial of how bad things were. And, like, with slavery, like, okay, like, I see no problem with this. It's like, fuck, I forgot where I was going with this. Hold on.
My car just
What was I saying? Can someone jog my memory?
You're saying racist, like, people, like, kind of, like, accepting that things aren't as bad as it is.
Oh.
You're saying, like, racism.
So it leads me to one, like, literally only those people in that higher position that have the means to write out these stories wrote that history. So the only people who would know the true history are the ones that were, like, the ones who didn't, like, succeed from it, benefit from it.
Exactly. The ones who were oppressed.
When we learn later these truths, they literally have to pass down their story generations to generations, and they need to convince everyone else that story they've been passing through their family beats what the book has to say. Or I guess, if we don't learn from word of mouth, we learn from artifacts, and we're like, well, we have to deduce that this is clearly the history, and then it's just a matter of, like, proving it to everyone else.
It's true. I was literally just thinking, like, this weird thing about, like, the world leaders, like, all just kind of, like, getting together, but, like, they're just like, yo, what's happening in, like, your country? And then, like, the people are just like, oh, everything's fine, but, like, meanwhile, they're, like, killing all their fucking civilians in the back and shit.
They're just seeing what they can do with their power, I guess, because, like, how does any of the shit really benefit them? Like, who's deciding, like, what the rules are, why this person should die, like, and someone dying, that doesn't even, like, benefit anyone else. Like, I don't understand what people are gaining from that. Maybe they're just showing off because they can. And where are those people's karma? If everyone gets what's coming to them, like, how is
why aren't the world leaders fucking getting it? Like,
why
are they all still alive? Why are they all still fucking... Yeah, it's just
like... Is the universe just or unjust?
It's like, what the fuck is going on?
Why are some people not getting their comeuppance? Or is that a really fat, big learning moment?
It might be. Maybe it's all like a build-up.
Like, it's really to test humans and what they're capable of when they see how bad humans can have capabilities of... Yeah. Like what I was saying before, I guess. I guess that, like, reinforces that. that you have the extremes of what humans can do, all this power for good or for evil, and it's seeing if the good humans that are good-natured could overthrow when humans have been 100% bad or as close to it. I guess that's the yin to the yang.
Yeah, it's like it's the sway of the balances.
So then those
I feel like
people
it's like
are
Star
born
Wars with the
inherently
Force.
evil
It's
with
like-
bad vibes.
I wouldn't say people are inherently evil. I would say that it's like all circumstances. Like, I would say that if you're in that bad vibe, you're gonna like attract.
So they
that.
had
like, if you're in, like,
so they did have some willpower in that.
I wouldn't say like it's like
Or by circumstance you mean things that clairvoyantly happened but they had no control over. Like a random parent's death that like affected their lives, but like they didn't do, and the mother didn't do on purpose because of the child.
yeah, I
Like
would
those
say,
kind of events affecting someone. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like it's like your reaction to them and how you deal with it. Because like, if you stay in those bad vibes, then like, you know, it's gonna be bad vibes.
I just feel like
I
if
don't
we
know.
all stopped worrying about everyone else and just focused on ourselves, I feel like we'd be better as a race. Because if we focused on ourselves, we wouldn't need anything or lack anything. So we would just be fulfilled, and we'd be able to like share the best version of ourselves with the best version of somebody else.
Exactly. It's
You
like
know?
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that means that those people who have those lower vibrations and stoop to that level, they think that they can't teach themselves how to love themselves and take care of themselves and put good energy into themselves. So they look at people who definitely have, and by trying to raise to their vibration, they're lowering theirs further. Because it's like they're trying to like cheat themselves. It's like, no, that is something you need to teach yourself. Stop trying to cut corners and be this person's like spitting image, or do whatever you think it takes to get to that point. And then you're just like causing chaos. They're trying to achieve something the wrong way.
Exactly.
It's like trying to cheat death, except it's like you're trying to like cheat your own personal goals and fate, I guess. Because it's supposed to be your journey. What are you gonna do? Like try and rob someone else's?
Yeah, it's like too many people are trying to live someone else's dream.
Yeah.
instead of your own.
Follow your own road. Stop trying to hop
Like we
everyone's
said
path.
before,
Exactly.
it's like it's our narrative.
We're all the main
Exactly.
character.
It's
Stop
like, what the
trying
fuck
to
do you want to do with your
Stop
life?
trying to plagiarize is what I guess you can directly compare it to.
Yeah.
Stop plagiarizing. This is your story. Take the fucking pen in your hand and write it. Stop peeking over at your neighbor and writing word for word what they're doing, because that's where shit's gonna go bad.
Yeah, because then when shit happens and you're just like, oh, I have a shitty like you don't have your own fucking like tools. You have someone else's, and someone else's tools aren't gonna apply to your life.
Exactly. It is not one size fits all. You need to create your own mold. Break the mold.
Exactly. Be your own fucking person.
And I guess
Don't
it's
be
so
a
hard for
bitch.
some people.
Stop being so miserable, everyone.
Trying to cheat life.
Be happy.
Don't worry. Be happy.
Exactly. I try to think of everything in like with a silver lining now. Instead of like everything being like negative, I'm like, okay, how does this help me? And like, what can I learn from this?
Exactly. There's always
Everything's
something
a
to take
learning
from
experience.
something.
Exactly.
And when you try to take something from something and rob that something, that's when you start fucking things up.
Stealing's bad, kids. Don't do it.
Yeah. Don't try and cheat what happens. Everything happens for a reason. You gotta learn from it. Stop trying to go out of your way to create something that's not yours. Because if you take it and you don't deserve it, that's karma, bitch.
So then, do you guys think that like we shouldn't be seeking what we want and we should let it find us?
No, we should seek what we want, but we just shouldn't like take shortcuts or like try and rob someone else's narrative and make it ours. Like, set your intentions, go after whatever you're after, because there's probably a reason why you're like going towards that, and things in your life are pushing you towards that goal. So I think it's fine to like keep your eyes there, to stay on the path and stay with that light. But it's when you try and like rob everyone else of theirs in order to get something greater than them, or to be try and become them and obsess with someone else's life path. That's when it's a problem.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, I want what they have.
Like you said, focus
It's
on yourself. Because then you're getting all these fucking energies intertwined. It's like Ghostbusters, don't cross the beams. Like, why are you doing that?
Exactly.
You see what it did? You see what happened?
It's because everybody's like, what you said before, everybody's on like parallel paths. It's like when you start to like cross other people's paths, like that's when shit goes wrong. It's like we're supposed to be individual people all going on each other's like on your own path going this way.
Yeah.
You know? Like you could come like really fucking close, but like you can't cross.
So you think that like when like shit happened, it's like a schism and like someone like came over to the other side?
Yeah, it's like shit's happening. It's like when people are like codependent, like trying to fucking like.
But you never have to cross over. No perpendicular shit. None of this.
But I feel like
because I feel like
the closer you are, like it could be a good or a bad thing. But like a direct crossover, I feel like that would equivalent like something bad happened.
I would say like tangent,
I feel like
y'all
it keeps
bump
pushing
for a
you
minute.
in this. I feel like some people like it never really like completely crosses. Like they keep just pushing onto your path. That it keeps just like pushing you out in like a non-upward direction. It keeps going shit
It's
goes
like
sideways, you know. Shit goes sideways, boom. Yeah, and then
yourself with.
I would say
you're gonna have to go all the way back. Everybody's going up.
And something you just said made me think of like the North versus South Pole magnets and how they push each other away or pull each other close when they come close. So like if you're coming close to someone's path that isn't good for you, it's like a south to south magnet or a north to north magnet. You just push each other away as much as they try and come close to you. Your life, your vibrations just will not allow that person to take your energy. So, but when you get close to people that are meant to be in your life, there's a clear pull factor that is pulling you together. And that's those events that you're saying are like weird. It's like, why now? Why them? Like the timing is too uncanny.
A lot recently, just with like
why.
Everything.
Because it's a lesson,
like,
I feel.
Why, like, I don't know, just like why here and why now and why with each other? You know, like who would have thought when we saw you in July on fucking Smith Point for like 5 minutes, like we would be here in October.
No.
Like I wouldn't have thought that.
Exactly. It's like the universe fucking is crazy.
It is.
It really is.
Because sometimes I feel like that, like I get glimpses of people in like certain situations, like what you said. It's like, oh, like I only saw them for 5 minutes, and then for some reason now, like say like we're here doing the podcast and shit like that. It's like really fucking weird.
That first night you came out to Queens to visit Donna, when I was there, I was like, oh, he's coming. Like I wasn't even like I feel like I wasn't even surprised.
Yeah.
Like even though with that like 5 minute, literally like 5 minute interaction between us at the beach, I was like, he's good.
Everything feels so natural. Like your energy is just so
like
welcoming. And oh, thank you. I feel like your energy is just like very approachable, easy to accept and receive.
Thank you.
Like you just seem
just like genuine.
Yeah, and it's not even like you're trying
I try to be very truthful and just honest. I hate bullshit.
The best way to be.
I'm just like, you know, like if I don't like people, I'm gonna fucking tell you that I don't like you. But like if I like
wish
you,
I was like that.
I wouldn't even necessarily say that it's just like your aura that actively attracts people, because I wouldn't say I don't know if in your experience like you really attract all walks of life and all energies, or if it's our particular type of energies that are attracted to yours or like pulled to you. So instead of like us going to you because it's you, what if it's us going to you because it's us, and like maybe you are what we need for like a minute like in our life to like tell us something.
So
like instead of you just pulling everyone to you because you're a person that pulls,
well, I learned from people too.
We're pushed to you because us should exist.
Yeah, like
this
I learned from you guys too.
In life.
So it's not like it's only like a one-way thing. It's like
there is a
we're
reason
all we're all learning from each other. It's like we're all in specific situations with specific people to learn specific things, you know?
We gotta share that wealth.
Yeah.
Yeah, and our life paths crossed. Well, not converged. We're like tangent to each other, like bumped into each other for a minute, because the universe knew that like we needed that moment of learning something to understand.
Exactly.
Like we need, and this, like, why here, why now? This is why. This is now.
Exactly. We're here to do it. Podcast right now.
Doing it.
Yeah.
They're doing the podcast.
And y'all gotta fucking hear it.
Yeah. pretty fucking cool, actually. That, like... it's so weird, actually, now I'm thinking about it. Like, you, like, meet people in your life, and then, like, you learn shit from them, and sometimes they just
disappear
right after that.
It's fucking
But then,
crazy.
Yeah, and then some people you learn shit from, and then they stay forever. And you're like, whoa. You're like, what the fuck is happening?
Or for me, where it's weird, and I guess you could say this is us, it's like
lessons.
Every time you're together, it doesn't feel weird at all, no matter the circumstance or, like, how long it's been. And we just pick right back up. And it's at, like, the weirdest times.
Yeah.
Where I feel like I've needed it. It's just, like... That's really interesting, because we literally only hung out, like, once a year at, like, the most random times. But it's like, why? And then you go away and I go away. But then, like, we're back. So...
It's true. It's like, just, like, it's the paths, like, you know?
I feel like a year ago, if you were hanging out with him, I wouldn't have come with you either.
Yeah. Everything was lined up.
It's true.
Like every time you, like, are back in, like, my life in some way, shape, or form, I'm just like, oh, okay, like, now is a good time. Like, okay, this is happening.
Now's the time.
I'm just like, all right. Instead of being like, oh, my God, like, who is he? It's been forever. Like, this is so weird. But my body's just like, okay.
But why is it that, like I said before, like, I met you and I was like, oh, he's good vibes. How come we automatically, like, know? Like, I feel like for me,
Sixth
I,
sense.
like, automatically know, like, this person just... I shouldn't be with this person. I don't feel safe.
Reading vibes.
Because, like, I feel like that I recognize specific vibes within certain people and stuff like that, and I feel like that's what it is. Like, it's just similar vibes, and you're just like, yo, you're on, like, the same wavelength as me, so, like, I can understand, I can trust you,
really
you know?
tell
But, like,
who's on a
some
lower
people aren't,
wavelength.
yeah, exactly. And that's when you get those, like, off vibes, and you're just like, I don't know if I should be with them. It's because, like, they're at, like, not the same wavelength as you and shit like that.
So, does everybody, you guys think, have the capability to, like, read the room or read the vibes?
Yeah.
And they just ignore it?
Yes. It's a
But
tool.
their thoughts
and we
are
just
clouded
are
with
trained
other
that we
things.
don't have it, but we do have it.
Yeah.
It's because they don't want us to be capable
When they could be
and
thinking
individual.
of ways to do that, their mind could be clouded with, like, things like narcissism, that they're allowing to have too much power in their mind. They decide in their minds the amount of power they can allot towards certain things, and they only decide to give their energy to those negative things, unfortunately, that impact others or impede their own thinking. Like, if you really can't read the fucking room, you're impeding that ability because you're giving more energy to another facet of your life. And
So
unfortunately, they're giving into the bad things.
You think it's because some people are just so selfish and, like, so self-centered that they don't even try to recognize what's going on around them?
Literally. And you know who I'm talking about.
I know, we're already thinking the same thing.
But, yeah, those people are actively putting energy into all the wrong things. And you can't put all of your energy anywhere. And they're just not choosing to do it for good. They're really getting caught up in these things that they're falling victim to. Literally, like, giving into temptations because it's a guilty thought, like...
It feels good in the moment.
Yeah, it's convenient is what it is. It's convenient to feel that way, to think that way, to shit on yourself or to shit on others to make yourself look better. It's one or the other, and it's convenient. So for them to put their energy into that, that's conscious, I would say, more or less.
I feel like I was having a conversation with one of my other friends earlier this week, and she's going through some stuff, and a lot of the things that she's doing, like, I see that I've done them in the past, and I'm like, oh, this is going to end terribly for her. She's going to get so hurt. And so I told her this, and I also told her, listen, of course it's up to you. You do whatever you want with this information. This is what I'm recognizing in your situation. And I feel like it's so easy for other people to see when others are, like, screwing up, but it's so difficult to admit to yourself that you're doing the wrong thing, and it's not the best thing for you.
Yeah. Because you feel like it's really going to taint your vibration if you acknowledge that, like, you were a piece of shit. But it's like, why can't you learn from that and rise above? Why do you keep on thinking that giving into the truth, or maybe not giving it, but just, like, allowing yourself to accept the truth, and you're just denying yourself that because it's convenient to feel some other type of way and blame some other entity other than yourself? You don't want to take accountability. You don't want to have ownership.
Exactly.
You're kidding yourself to live a falsehood.
The devil made me do it. It's like, no.
You did it.
The devil didn't do shit. People did it.
You were the devil.
It's like you have your own choice. You made the decision. You decided to go through it. Nobody forced you to do it.
You chose to ignore the facts one way or another. Whether you are viscerally aware of it or not, you're giving into it.
It's true.
It is true. Relationships are hard. Like, I'm just, like, reflecting, like, thinking about, like, looking at other people and seeing, oh, you could be doing so much more for yourself. Like, I know that you can do better.
Mm-hmm.
It's, like, so difficult to see the people that you love just, like, go through it and not be able to, like, really do anything for them, you know?
Exactly.
You don't want to get your energy involved because it's already a bond with two people.
Because you can only, like, help so much. Like, you can't, like, live other people's lives and do shit for them.
People gotta make their own decisions, but you can
exactly. It's their own life, and they need to learn their
them,
own lessons and stuff like that. Like,
but they're the ones that gotta follow through. Literally, like any student in the classroom, it's like the teacher's gonna tell you everything they know. They've been studying this. They're an expert. They're gonna tell you of that, what they think you need to know, and they're gonna try their best to help you understand it. And if you don't try to absorb any of that, like, you're missing out. You're robbing yourself. You are accountable for learning that information and listening to it. No one's forcing you to do it, but you need to take that in and do what you feel is best. Like, how can you ignore what someone has taught you?
Exactly.
How can you be so... Or are people just blind? Is that another choice that someone has made?
Yeah, but what if
or
somebody
people,
directly
like,
tells
blind?
you?
Then you're a fucking idiot if you don't.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there's people like that too. Like, saying this out loud now, it's like, oh, like, you're a real fucking idiot if you can't hear the shit that people literally say to you. There is a direct sign from the universe slapping you in the face, and you're not gonna get that. Then what about all the other small signals that the universe may have been, like, showing you?
People don't want to.
You think they're ignoring it on purpose?
Yeah. They don't want to face the truth. They don't want their whole life to just fall apart before them.
So humans know,
because they know it's a facade, and then right when they have to deal with reality, that's when they have to actually do work.
But could we also do that to the things that, like, are good for us? Ignore the signs of, like, something that's positive?
Yeah, it's self-sabotaging and shit like that. It's because you don't feel like you're worth it, so you don't take any positive...
Yep, yet again, you're not giving yourself credit. You're not giving yourself enough credit. It really comes back
to the relationship you have with yourself.
Yeah.
Like, that's what every issue, like, falls back on, I feel like.
The way you
everything is a
project
reflection
or
of
don't
yourself.
onto
Other people are reflections of yourself. It's like, that's why what I said before is, like, specific things come into your life. It's like with relationships, like, everything is just a reflection of, like, me, of what deep down, of, like, what I have to really focus on.
Yeah.
And shit like that, you know? It's like a weird Matrix thing. Like, like the whole universe is just like an interactive version of, like, deeper versions of you.
It's crazy.
What the fuck are these people playing? Did you hear that shit?
Yeah. I could not even tell you, but it was annoying.
I don't even know what the fuck that was.
It was mad annoying. It was like, wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
Literally, that's what I was hearing. What? Oh, I thought you saw
what?
something. I thought you saw something and you're like,
oh, no.
Oh. And it's crazy. People can just use your number, take any of your information, and pose as you. These fucking AIs or companies are posing as you.
It's fucked up.
They can do whatever they want with your information, including falsify it, make it something else, invent you.
That's crazy.
That really fucking is. I can't believe we gave them that much power.
Literally.
Like, why do we feed into it still?
Some people are brainwashed and too far gone. I think that their, like, minds are poisoned now.
But I feel like we literally, like, can't, like, we wouldn't be able to go to school without, like, the technology we have now. Like, we're forced to conform to it now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say
we literally don't have a choice.
I wouldn't say technology, like, as a whole is bad, but a lot of it's being used for, like, it's like the means. But
yeah, it's a tool. It's like you can either use it for bad or good.
It's being used for bad.
Exactly. We could be Wakanda, but we choose to be a shithole.
I was thinking how we said that every time we have these, like, interesting moments where we feel like we're channeling, like, some energy to, like, because you ever feel like you're just, like, saying something, or you get, like, a random thought that pops into your head, but you have no clue, like, why you just said it, felt the need to say it, or, like, thought that thought. It's because, like, someone, like, channeled themselves in your body for a second. And they, like, channeled their energy into yours, and you experienced their essence for a minute there. But what if, like, with these bad people, or these people in general, not even bad people, that defeats the whole point of this. These people that happen to be creating the means for these AIs to take over, what if there's a bad entity that is channeling themselves into that person to commit these heinous things that they otherwise wouldn't? And now it's like, damn, Jeff Bezos is a reptilian? Confirmed.
But we're still feeding into it. Like, we're still, like, supporting them and buying their shit. Us.
Like how Hitler fooled fucking almost all of Germany. How did that many people say, yeah, let's kill a whole fuck ton of people? That seems reasonable. They look a certain way, think a certain way. Well, first, fuck them and their shit.
Like, not everybody was aware that, like, people were being killed. It was just more like they're being, like, moved around and, like, forced to work.
True, but even, like, the Nazis themselves, like,
they're terrible people.
Like, they're carrying out what he says. They did not have to. Why did they feel the need to be like, okay? So it's like they're being brainwashed because that person is, like, a master manipulator. Like, how can someone else make you feel that way? So it's like, all right, is this one guy that's having
it's still happening now, though? Like, there are still, like, countries in the world that are so far gone that people just feed into them and support, and they just do whatever they're told because that's their life. You know, so, like, we can look at it, like, in a past perspective, but, like, it's still happening now.
Yeah, I was just using that as an example. Yeah. That is the biggest one, and the one I use often because it's easy to remember.
Yeah.
But, yeah. What gets me, though, is when people are manipulated by those really bad people, I'm going to use the Hitler Nazi example again. So are the people doing that because Hitler is having all this, like, really bad energy, negative energy channeled into him that moment, where he's really good at being manipulative? Or are these people having negative energy channeled through them as well? Like, again, is it a pull factor that Hitler is able to pull most people? Or is it a push factor where these particular people are being given this negative energy to, like, that pushes them to that school of thought? Like, which way is it going? It's directly the opposite of, like, what me and Sam said about you. Like,
you know, it's
funny.
Are
we being drawn to that person because it's them? Or are we gravitating towards them because it's us? Or some entity channeling themselves through us?
Hitler was very obsessed with energies and demons and stuff. So
what?
Yeah, he was literally, like, opening portals to demons and shit like that.
What?
And, like, trying to, like,
my god, that
They were
confirms
taking-
everything I feel.
They were taking massive amounts of DMT to try to, like,
Holy
contact
shit.
like higher beings and, like, demon shit. So, like, they were really trying to, they were really trying
Why
to
doesn't anybody
experiment.
talk about this?
They do, actually. A lot of
And he
people
also
actually
did
brought this to, like,
painting
Joe
and
Rogan
shit.
talks about it a lot too, actually.
I need to
'Cause,
look up
like,
what his paintings looked like and what he did.
He
did everything,
What America
apparently.
did was that they, like, after they fucking snuffed out Hitler and shit, America fucking took all of Nazis fucking like their fucking scientists and shit, and then they, like, created NASA.
They, like, bought them off, basically.
Yeah,
they
they
give us
literally-
all the information. They did the same thing with the Japanese, too.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
like, they were fucking, like...
And there were, like, people that said,
So
like,
much.
I've had, like, professors before, like, what the Nazis and what the Japanese people had to go through in the internment camps, what they went through was terrible, but, like, we've received so much information because of what happened to them, which
Yeah.
is so fucked up.
It really is fucked
like,
up.
there had to have been other ways in which we could have gained the same information from which was extracted from those events, you know?
Yeah. It's that we chose to do the bad.
Yeah.
And then now we're gonna suffer because of it, because then that puts bad karma into our
you
fucking world.
You gotta suffer the consequences of your actions.
Exactly.
Or I wouldn't
And
say
people
that
don't
you
think that
always
they
have to
can
suffer,
fucking-
but you always have to face them.
Yeah.
And if
Exactly.
it's bad because you
Think
put
they
that
can
shit
keep
out there,
running away.
you're going to suffer, and you can't act like you didn't know you had that coming to you. Because if you cheated the universe, you knew that you did that.
Exactly.
Like, it's
and people want
what
to
goes
like
around
cry
comes around,
and bitch
bitch.
about it. Be like, why is everything happening to me? It's like, okay, but what are
You're
you putting into the fucking
yes,
universe? It's like,
it's your fault.
are you treating
You're letting
people
it
like shit?
happen.
Yeah, it's like what are you fucking doing?
That's why I always get so offended at the fact that bad shit would happen to me, because it's like, I truly didn't believe, like, I deserve, like, some of the shit that happened to me happen. But I guess it's a moment like those where, for me and other good-natured people that don't give in to cheating life, I guess that's where the life lessons are coming from, are those tough moments. Like, they're made to help us, they exist to help us get better.
Exactly. It's everything's
In, like, a
learning
weird, fucked up
experience.
way. Like, life had to teach us how to get past these things, or how to problem solve these things and work through it and build ourselves up.
Exactly.
And we did. And he knew we could pass the test, so he gave it to us. And now we're people that are given the opportunity to, like, be higher spiritually, on a higher vibration.
Yeah. It was a weird thing that, not weird, but it was actually a pretty powerful thing that Kanye said, that I was listening to him on the Joe Rogan thing. And he was saying that, like, he's, like, really into fucking, like, church and Christianity and God and shit like that. But, like, he was saying that he was, like, praying about, like, something that, like, oh, please, like, help him, like, get past, like, all of, like, hard times and troubles and shit like that. And then, like, right after he asked for that, his mom died and shit like that. So then he thinks that, like, literally, like, he asked for that and his mom died, so, like, he'll never know a greater pain. So, like, nothing else will, like, fucking bother him in his life.
Damn, so what happened to him at that point, so you can move on with everything else that was to come.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's fucked up, but that's crazy.
Yeah, it was.
And
I was
don't
like, what
doubt
the
it,
fuck?
you know? Because maybe in a weird way, it was what they may or may not have needed then. But nah, I feel like you can't even say that. Because, like, what person really needs death? Is their death, is everyone who dies by some unfortunate circumstance really a martyr because they died to teach someone else a lesson?
Yeah.
Because obviously, what lesson are you teaching yourself if you take yourself off the earth? Or something takes you off the earth? What did you gain? Like, what? I can't be Cancer and now I feel like a piece of shit? Like, no. Your death existed to humble someone else's. You are a martyr, and if your timing was unfortunate, obviously that it's not showing you anything, but maybe it's showing others something. And you're the living example of something else. Like, you are a statement.
Mm. And maybe the people... I think it's, like, not... I feel like things aren't specifically for one reason only. I feel like there's a shit ton of things happening. Like, you say, like, that person's learning something, and then, like, other people around them are also learning something, and it's all subjective to them. Everything's relevant to whatever the fuck you're living. So, like, depending on the perspective... Like, there's always, like, one situation happening, but everybody learns different things
It's a different
from it.
side of the story, and that really affects that person's individual life. We're all the main character, but where there's overlap is, like, how we're building the story. Like, that's where our stories converge, is because we needed that stepping stone for a different chapter.
Exactly. It's like everybody, like, bitches that the bad happens, but, like, the bad makes the good happen. And you learn from the bad, so it's like you need the bad to progress.
It's a domino effect.
It's the resistance that you need to push past.
It's like, looking back, I don't think, like, we all could say, like, we wouldn't be who we are today without our past experiences, and I don't think I would want to take away anything that ever happened to me, because I like who I am at this moment, and I would, like, I know I'd be different if something that I didn't like, which happened to me in the past, didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Everything builds you up to who you are today.
Yeah, it's like everything is like a humbling. It's all about being humble.
Mm-hmm.
Literally.
Exactly.
And growing. It's like we're all just slowly growing into who we're meant to be. Or at least a lot of us are trying to.
Yeah, it's like process is still process, no matter how slow.
Yeah.
And I was also thinking that this thing is like, if you're working out, it's like working out is like, you need resistance in order to build muscles.
Yes.
So, like, life automatically has, like, natural resistance, like, problems.
Because if you keep on doing the
and
same
it
thing,
keeps
you're not going to grow.
making you stronger. Exactly.
All you're going to do is tire yourself out. It's not even like you're going to stay still. Like, you literally may as well be doing worse. And that's when you hurt yourself. Or that's just when, like, you're breaking a sweat for nothing. Like, and for what? You're not going anywhere. You may not necessarily be going down every time, but, like, you're just trying so hard to achieve the same results of no achievement. Everyone's walking their dogs so late. Everyone. I wonder if they think it's weird. It's like, yo, what are these people just doing sitting in a car this whole fucking time? All they literally do is sit and talk. Bitch. Like, what's going on?
What isn't
Girl,
going
you don't
on?
even
Like,
know.
what the fuck?
Bitch. Bitch, please.
People wish they were high as fuck talking about dope shit.
Yeah. Hopefully they actually listen. Truth has been spoken.
When I was younger, I never wanted to be a smoker.
Really?
I was scared of it.
Too,
I told myself I was I told myself I was never gonna do it.
I told myself I wasn't gonna drink, smoke, nothing.
Me too.
Drinking I was excited about because my parents made it seem fun.
Yeah, right. And it happened, I feel like, so quick for me. Like, I turned, 19, and like so much when I was 19 changed for me. Like, so many firsts happened that year, and now look at, like, between like me being like 18 to now, there's so much that has happened, and I've changed so much. And like morally too, it's like, it's been like an entire, like, I don't just like, well, I used to like chocolate, now I like vanilla. It's like a whole like shift and like a whole new dynamic of a person.
Now I like chocolate vanilla.
Now I like bull.
Yeah, but I get that. Like, I grew like so much in a matter of 2 years, and like everything in the accumulation of my life. It's crazy.
That I like how I think of people changing. So I like to think of myself as like a Raichu instead of a Pikachu, and like I had my evolution, bitch. I'm the same person. I did not physically change. Like, well, I didn't like change like my soul or anything drastic, but it's like I've evolved. Like, I've like raised it.
Yeah.
I didn't change their soul. I raised it. But with other people,
just keep rising in vibration.
it's like they go from Clefairy to fucking Jigglypuff. Like, that's something else. Like, they think they're marching to the beat of the same fucking drum, and they're not.
I'm kind of scared of change, but I also look down. I don't want to use the word look down. I guess I do. Look down on people who don't change, like, who don't grow. So, like, it's like kind of
they're
like
refusing to take their supplements.
What is the word? Where you're hypocrite. I'm kind of a hypocrite in that matter.
I used to be afraid of change, and then I realized that, like, for me at least, it's like just me anticipating a new energy coming into my life. So it's just like,
or you're just scared of all the new things you might learn too.
That's also true.
Because you know deep down that you have lessons coming, and you're like scared.
Yeah, you're like, fuck, I gotta go through this whole other chapter of my life.
Like, literally, it's like the stages of life. Like, oh, this is the phase you're moving into. Like, no, deadass, like, spiritually, this is the phase you need to encounter for a good amount of growth for, like, your soul at this point in this lifetime.
Yeah, and it's like you keep it's like some people keep dragging out the chapter because they're too afraid to move on to the next chapter.
And some
the
people
chapter keeps just getting shittier and shittier, and you're just like, damn, this story is starting to suck. I need to fucking start, like, going on to, like, the next thing, you know?
But the thing is, no one ever finishes the book, but some people can be, like you said, slower or faster at, like, reading it. So it's like, let's just say that right now the human capacity for getting to chapters, like, the highest is like 42. But let's say someone couldn't read past chapter 3 until they were 30. But it's like, you passed that when you, like, left middle school. So it's like other people maybe are more, like, spiritually literate, literally.
Because that's what I think that karma and reincarnation is.
And think these things. And other people are just, like, less intuitive by nature, and they physically can't read faster than that. Or are they disabling themselves? Are they disallowing themselves to read faster? Are they not letting themselves digest the material properly? Are they just fucking, like, sitting there and sulking and not reading on?
I don't know.
Everything's a personal choice.
Yes, I agree with that.
Unless life, like, literally fucks you in the ass. Like,
yeah, what if there's, like, spiritually dyslexic people? Like, they're seeing all the wrong things. Maybe it's not that they're denying themselves to read. It's like they're trying to read, but they physically, like, are seeing it all backwards or all wrong, because not everything is backwards with dyslexia. There's a whole different bunch of ways that it affects, like, your thinking, your reading, letters, numbers, words, sentences, thoughts.
Who even knows
Everything
what reality is supposed to be? Like, who's even to say that that's wrong? Like,
And
who's to say that that's just not a different perspective of living life?
Because so many people, I didn't realize how many people have dyslexia. Like, and if you just dumb it down to, reading every single word backwards, like, literally, like, from cone to onek. It's like not everything is that literally backwards. It's like a lot of things in your reality are distorted and flipped. But how can we even acknowledge, because it's like obviously if like this car seat is like black, like our blacks are different and none of us can like say that one is true. And generally we can say it's black, but like you're physically not seeing the exact same color I am. Or maybe you are, but I feel like we're not. That's just my opinion. But with other things, what if people literally do not have the capability to see the same things as other people? Like, I guess that would be blindness and like color blindness or something. Like, there's something inhibiting them, but maybe for a reason, you know? Maybe that is teaching someone else. When other people are like burdened, maybe they have to like overcome that, and that's them raising their vibration, is that they're teaching themselves how to be better despite like the quote unquote norm. But it's also like, how can we say that anything is normal? Like, we probably all have things that are off, and there's no one human who is the bar for everything that should be right, and then all of the rest of us are defects for like having depression, anxiety, for being blind or dyslexic, like literally anything that is like different where it has a name. Because it's like, how can you say that someone isn't void of all those things? I feel like it's stupid to assume that there's so many people that are normal and everyone else is just like abnormal. That's why I hate the term abnormal psych.
It's
like how are you going to say that this is the outlier?
What are you basing the normal off of?
There's just general trends and outliers. It's all statistics.
But it's all like based off of like the definition of what something is in the DSM at that particular moment.
Wait, in the DSM, what do you mean?
Like in the DSM, the Diagnostic Statistic Manual for like actually diagnosing people who have like depression, anxiety, and anything under the sun. That's what they have to follow to diagnose somebody.
Well, that's what we created.
Yeah. So but how would we be able to like help people if we don't know what's causing the issue? So we need like, I don't like labels. I feel like a lot of times they cause more separation than they do cause more inclusion, but I do think some are necessary so that we are able to accurately help people that need it.
True. I wouldn't even say like that's what I'm getting at. It's more of like, how can you be foolish to assume that there's someone that doesn't have any of those labels? They don't even have to all of them. Like, is there really someone who is labelless, who doesn't have this box ticked off or that box ticked off? Like,
I guess it's all a matter of like extremes. Like, how much of something do you have?
I just think there's a lot we don't know.
Yeah.
Because we
need like to have some form of documentation of what we do know already.
True, but it's just like the amount of things that we just learned in recent years. Like, depression is something we're now having conversations about. All these other things now are being talked about because humans are realizing more and more every day we're not perfect. We're less than perfect. We have so many imperfections, but now we're gonna try and overcome them. Like, no one person is perfect. Like, everyone has different ways they need to learn, and maybe this is a part of like your process, even though it's fucked up, or maybe it's teaching someone else. Like, because then what kind of life is someone living if they have none of that? Like, you have to have something, and it doesn't mean that this person has to have anxiety versus depression. It could be anything, like the circumstance in which you were born, the house that you grew up in, like a situation that comparatively to your neighbor, like the grass is greener on the other side, and that's like shitty for you, but...
Well, that's the nature versus nurture question. Like, what has more of an impact? Your environment or who you are when you were born?
I'd say there's both.
Well, yeah, you need both, because like you need to like have some foundation in order to grow and to change.
No, but what I'm saying is that it like the thing that is like quote unquote abnormal for the person doesn't have to be like a mental disability. It could even be like how like things around them were when they were growing up, like the fact that a cousin like OD'd, or the fact that a family member like left, like...
So they don't have depression then?
No, I'm saying that it's like deeper than that. It's not just like labels of like mental illnesses. It could be like an act in their life. It doesn't have to be like a mental thing. That has to do with neurons and synapses. It could be like an experience. It could be anything. No, not sad in general. I'm just saying that alters a person.
You're saying like situational depression versus like chemical depression?
Like how we were saying that there's no one perfect person. Like maybe that's why they're imperfect or whatever. Because like they've had to move through that. And that trauma, like, you know how, like, trauma, like, changes how you move on forward in life?
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe that's on, like, a not as obvious level. Because it's like trauma, we can physically see that alters chemistry in your brain and how you physically perceive things. So, like, that would be their thing. But it's like other people, like, it changes the way you view things.
Wouldn't that just be the action which is triggering what's happening inside you? So it's not necessarily the experience which is changing. The experience itself isn't the changer. It's not like the action. It's what stimulates something inside of you.
Yeah,
which would inherently be, like, you would have to define what's going on inside of you and not the explanation.
Exactly. It's different things inside of you being triggered. And obviously what's going on inside of you controls how you move through life going forward. So what I was trying to say is that not everything that's triggered is like depression or anxiety. Like, there's other things that either don't have labels yet, or like aren't that type of thing.
Like,
there's just something
like
that processes.
Waking up randomly in a good mood versus waking up in a bad mood.
Yeah, even something like that, you know? It could be temporary, but there's just something that's causing you or inhibiting that thing for like a minute or more.
Well, I think that would imply that we need more, like, therapy then.
Oh,
Because-
I'm such a firm believer in therapy. I
Then
just don't know why I'm not
go.
going. Anyone got any recommendations?
Yes! I will literally take you to my therapy session with me. Because
Bet.
I need to go. Like, I need
Do
to
they
go for
allow
myself.
people to go in?
I don't see why not.
True. What are they gonna do? Like, deny you what you think you need?
I
Like,
don't think so.
unless it's these fucking COVID policies. Sorry, I can only handle this much.
We didn't even, like, wear a mask last time.
Oh shit.
I'm not gonna plug my man. Don't want him to get in trouble.
Vibing.
But he's a really cool guy. He's very like faithful, but in a non like pressing way. Like, he's just like
That's
open
interesting.
and like the faith and like the spiritual. Like, I walk in and the room is super comfortable. It's just couches. There's pictures of the beach everywhere. There's like the sounds of the ocean playing in the background. The windows are always open with the sun coming in. It's like, it's a very like spiritual and like wholesome presence where I go for therapy.
And it's interesting that he's like a faithful person, because his vision is his faith if he like so chooses to make it that. So it's literally his knowledge that he received and the things he chose to absorb from when he was learning psychology and getting his degree, channeled through this Christian lens.
It's not even just like Christian. It's like, he'll like, oh, okay, did you meditate? Did you pray? What did you do? Like, for yourself to like reconnect.
Yeah. All that influence on everything that he says. Like, not all of it has to be like direct, but like, you can't say that hasn't shaped his experience in it. Yeah. That's just so interesting. Like, literally, people can go to the same classes as him, even have like the same mindset as him, but if they were, like, there's so many minor things that really change everything, and I guess that would be another one of those like events.
We grew up in the same neighborhood. We went to the same school our whole life, basically, until college. We've had similar experiences with men, with relationships, with family life, but like, we came out differently. You know, like, if we've had so much, I mean, of course we're similar in a lot of ways, but like, if, I don't know,
I guess they're just shared human experiences that we had separately that paralleled one another, so we could teach one another. Because it's like, while our situations are so similar, obviously we're not physically mirrored. We parallel, but we don't mirror.
Of course.
And where there's gray areas in my story, you patch them up, and vice versa. It's like a Venn diagram. In the middle is where our paths are like tangent. They don't totally cross over and overlap because it's not the same story. They run together, and we gain the parts from each other that we didn't previously have. Like, they're there and we can see them now. And we use that to help us build our own story. We are not taking each other's. And that's why we're separate. You have your goals in your story where you're the main character. I have mine. But these chapters were handled in slightly similar ways, and we can like learn to like continue to finish that.
So this is a really random thought, but you talked about like something about like universality. Like, that's like something that I heard you say. And it really brings me back. This is so random. to 11th grade English class. We had the same teacher, Miss Pereira. She was amazing. She was just like...
I feel like she would like this.
So passionate about her... Yeah, she would. About, like, her job. She loved literature. And she really enjoyed teaching. And she made sure that the majority of kids in that class had a good experience with her. You know, like, she would just... Anyway, great plug. I love you, Miss Pereira. I miss you. But
miss
anyway,
you, girl.
For AP Lang, our first essay that we had to write that year... It was about the thesis, find 4 universal truths that are explained and detailed, and I think it was The Scarlet Letter, the book. And I had the hardest time understanding what a universal truth is.
Yes, that really got me in.
It was
there is no such thing as universal truth. It's all subjective
I couldn't
to
get
the
over
person.
that.
I didn't understand it. It was
I could not
literally
comprehend.
everybody in the class had to write 2 sentences, 1 thesis statement explaining that, and everybody got like a 50 or a 0 because we didn't understand it. You know?
Yeah, it's just because, like, our generation understands that, like, I don't know, that all these rules are just bullshit.
Yeah,
it's just, like, they're just, I don't know.
Like, I'm amazed that she knew the answer. Like,
it's like...
what was the answer? Or what was
There is no
she
answer.
thinking it was? Like, what was her universal truth?
I have it, but it's also, like, a universal truth is a shared, like, human experience. Like, but can that go to say that every human experiences the same thing, just in a different way? Like, 'cause we all experience the same emotion, and I think that's what the universal truth is.
Yeah.
Is that we all, like, experience life differently.
The ways
like,
that we channel that feeling.
Yeah. It's like the way that we react to life. Obviously, it's in different ways, but, like, there's a lot of similarities between, like, our emotions and our reactions.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, but that, like, first assignment when she gave it out, that had me so confused.
Yeah, that really did me in.
I don't know. Because I feel like truths are only truth for the moment. Because the truth is not truth throughout all of time.
That's true.
It's because, like, what was true back in the fucking 70s was definitely not true now.
Even what I thought was true back when I was, like, 15 is different now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, like,
It's subjective to
that
what
truth
time
evolves
you're
to
in.
match that time. Like, I guess truth is a trend. It goes in and out of style. It needs to evolve. Because imagine, like, to have the same truth the whole time. If you're evolving,
boring.
why wouldn't the truth? It needs to match where we're at. We all need to progress, or none of us can really move forward. Because then the truth is the roadblock. And that's interesting, because that ties into our conversation we had about religion, where how can people believe that one truth that someone said years ago? This is the Bible. These are our truths. These are the 10 Commandments. Why can't that move with us? That's why I'm still so confused why some people are so devout and letting it cloud their vision and dictate so many rules in their lives. Why did you decide that that's what we were gonna follow? Why are you upholding these old traditional values that aren't even your own? You're adopting someone else's and you're following them, and that person died years ago. Like, how can you still, like, get behind what someone was thinking in a totally different situation, different life experiences, definitely not as advanced?
Exactly, it helped them for the time being, and only that time being.
We've moved past this. We've used their story to grow further. Learn from history. Don't live history. Learn from it. Why are you trying to live their history? It's his story, bitch. Move on.
Yeah.
I feel like that's happening a lot recently.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we're literally following the paths of so many, like, historical events, and I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm terrified.
Me too.
Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck is
really
gonna happen.
Is there ever something in history where there was a good turnaround right now? Because all the examples show that no.
Like,
no, it was a landslide for the worse.
And, like, not even that, but, like, regardless of who wins, the other side is gonna flip a switch and go crazy on both sides.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be a war. We've all been joking about like wars, but
like
everyone keeps on saying world war. No, we're gonna piss ourselves off before we really piss someone else off, because everyone knows we're a fucking bomb.
As soon as we go into war with each other, like all these other fucking countries are gonna like join in
because we're vulnerable, because we're wasting all our own resources on ourselves for the worse when we could be using our resources for the better. Another example of people using their means for wrong. Like, how foolish of you to take all that you have, the only thing you have, and taint it instead of growing with it.
Yeah.
How asinine.
This whole podcast episode, growth.
Yeah, it's just growth.
This
is gonna be the title, just growth. I'll actually have that as a title too. Just growth.
It's good. It really is a running theme. Everything is constantly evolving.
Yeah.
Nothing is stopping. It's linear. Actually, well, kind of. Not exactly. But, like, it's literally this plane that never ends. If life and time is always moving forward, why wouldn't growth? What does it do? Fucking stop, and then what? For the rest of time, for infinity, what is it doing? Not evolving. Bitch, did anyone stop so far? No. Why are we going to now?
Exactly.
It's been over 13 billion years, and look where we are today. And you know where we'll be a million years from now? I don't fucking know, but hopefully we're doing better and not worse, and actually learning from ourselves.
You don't know, because there's growth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Growth is one of those words.
Or maybe is it good if humans end? I don't know.
Growth is one of those words where you hear it and you're just like, what the fuck am I saying right now? You're like, this word is so weird.
If you say any word more than like 3 times in a sentence, it's like, okay, this word tastes weird, it looks fake, and it's wrong. Growth. See, it already doesn't sound like a word. Like, I'm seeing you guys say it and hearing you say it, and in my mind I'm seeing it. It doesn't seem right anymore. I feel like I ruined it.
I kind of feel that.
And now when you say it, I don't recognize it as a word. And when I say it, my tongue and mouth just feels like it's doing a movement and making a sound and not a word.
So do we need a new word for like what this represents?
You could should read.
I was saying that's interesting how you could really beat up a word like that and teach yourself to think a different way. Like, just like that. Because
literally all languages is just random shit that we're just saying with our mouths.
So it literally just went like... car when they saw that, and like all these are gonna be cars.
Yeah.
Bitch, how did you decide that car like
why can't that be a fucking rack? You know, like look at all these racks out here, you know, like why can't it be a rack?
And how can
it has to be a car.
What I think is weird is humor that isn't obvious, because a lot of humor is rooted in dark things, sarcasm, irony. But what about humor that's like stupid? Like, how could we all think that Tiggly Wiggly is a silly word? Like, see, you giggled, like,
because
that word
it sounds
means
funny.
Nothing. It means nothing. Humans made a noise. Why is that word
because the noise sounded
funny? Because it feels weird saying Tiggly Wiggly, because, like, the way my mouth moves triggers something in my brain. Who's deciding what humor
Tiggly Wiggly
is?
out of everything?
Is humor implanted in us? Did someone else decide that Tiggly Wiggly was funny because they said it like an idiot, and the context
I feel like humor
created that
is like the natural like vibe of the universe. It's just like,
but it's so
humor.
So
and love.
humor. I was just gonna say, is it universal? But it's not. So that's really interesting. I guess certain humans can lump together the things they like and don't like. How like people like sushi, people don't like sushi. People think this is funny, people think that is funny. It's their taste. Their sense of humor. So do you think
that's what zodiac signs are? That like we're just like kind of like grouped in specific ways?
I guess so.
Specific ways?
And certain combinations of charts can like be similar to someone of a different sign. So it's like, whoa, like if we get together and our signs aren't that compatible or don't have the same school of thought, it's like, well, we can't just be like right off the bat, no, you guys can't have the same sense of humor just because you're not the same sign. But it's like, what if this combination of their top 3 or different houses like can like be like the sister sign or the sister chart of like how you feel the same way? And that's when you find like your closest friends and like your deepest links, when people who are that same vibe regardless if they're the same sign or not. Because like
it's like you have the rest of your chart to kind of like make it more
it's like
to make
mixing the color black with different colors or any color. It's like brown. You can make the color brown with any color combination pretty much. So it's just all of our different, like, ways of getting to that destination. So
Yeah,
it's
just how
like
you're looking
all
at
these
it.
different colors, or like your different personality traits, or like your different aspects of your sign, or like your placements in your chart. So it's like my top few colors might be like reds and greens, and like my chart, if we're gonna equate like signs to colors, and yours might be purples and yellows, but when you mix them, we still all get brown.
Yeah.
Because like the way they mesh together creates a similar or the same output, even though we're different.
Exactly.
And there's that overlap, and there's just trends and certain formations, and that's generally what that sense of humor is, or like what that niche would be.
So is like the zodiac system only limited to our galaxy? Like, once we learn more about like the universe, and like we learn about more like constellations, like, do you think what we like know about the zodiac is going to change because there'll be like more formations, or will that not affect us because it's not in our galaxy?
I was just gonna say it's not gonna affect us because it's not in our galaxy. Because if these are the stars that we were born into that are over our heads, at our placements in our times, and in our towns, that's going to be different if we were in another galaxy, on another planet. The circumstance would be different. Because the thing is, we have had no humans, like, born on Mars. Like, if they were born there, maybe we would find out more about the different potentials of human beings and the different combinations that their other charts from other stars and other galaxies would make. Like, our particular galaxy creates these kinds of people. So what if there's other schools of thought and types of people out there that we haven't experienced the way they experience things because of the circumstances under which they were born in the universe gave them that? Or would they be more sister signs?
Oh, maybe. I don't even know. Fuck. Because, like, maybe those other constellations that they were born under would kind of, like, mirror ours. Yeah, because, like, we only, like, in this position on Earth, we only have 12, but Mars could have, like, 13 or 14, or maybe only, like, 3 or some shit. Mm-hmm. And then, like, we have, like, Aries, Taurus, whatever, and they could have, like, some other whole fucking names.
Yeah. That's interesting that there's so many other stars out there that we could also be basing ourselves off of, maybe also. To, like, I feel like every time you look at horoscopes or astrology things, and the more of your chart you add into your reading, the more accurate it is. Because, like, if you just look in the newspaper and you read Gemini or Aries, you're getting such a general thing, a blanket thing that could apply to any Gemini, or, like, any person ever, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe. But if you want something that is more your truth, you need to know more about you. So what if there's other stars that can help us realize more bits and pieces of our story that could help us better understand ourselves and, like, dig deeper?
It's also the same thing with self-reflection and, like, pretty much, like going into yourself, too. It's, like...
So you guys really think that, like... Or do you think that compatibilities are, like, accurate? Like, according to our zodiac signs?
I would say that it makes you more, like, potential. There's a potential, but just because there's potential doesn't mean that it's actually going to happen.
That's true.
Yeah, because I feel like it's whether or not you actually... You know how, like, people have all the genes their parents have, but just a matter is the switch on or off as to what those genes are turned on. So I think that if you're a certain chart, you have all the switches, but it's like which ones your body expresses the most and has turned on will affect that relationship. I would say compatibility is, like, pretty okay if you get, like, one that really goes into their whole chart where it asks for all their information instead of just, like, oh, like, Gemini and Virgo, like, what are they like? It's like, that's too general. You're not gonna get a good vibe reading that suits you and that person. But if you know, like, their top 3, the exact, like, everything that's happening in every house, like, I feel like that would help.
Yeah, it's like the more you know, the more specifics you can get into what the relationship is.
But it's whether or not that person chooses to act on their chart, and, like, all of their chart is, like, visibly turned on. Because I guess everyone has different ways of literally everyone has different ways of expressing who they are, you know? Because I feel like I am who I am, but it's not communicated to everyone the same. I can tell you that right now. I act different with you guys than I do with my parents, than I do with my professors. Like, I'm the same person, but I'm just turning on certain things in front of certain people because I feel like, or maybe that's just the connection I have with them and they bring that out of me. Sometimes it's a conscious decision where I'm like, I'm gonna be like this when I'm in their company. But sometimes their energy brings it out of me. And I guess that's where the compatibility can go bad, is like where your like vibes make each other express different things, or they just choose to express things a different way or not have them turned on. That's where the difference lies. What is that flashing?
Oh, it's just a security guard.
They're walking over here?
Nah. But, I was gonna say that's kind of like the same thing what I was saying about, like, people reflecting other things about yourself as well. Mm-hmm. That, like, those people specifically bring out specific qualities within you to kind of, like, give yourself, like, a face-to-face reflection of what it actually looks like.
Yeah. Literally.
Instead of, like, reflecting on it internally, it's like you're actually having, like, a 3D model of, like, what it looks like. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel like a lot of, like, things in my life does. Like, I'll meet somebody and then, like, there'll be a specific way and I'm like, that kind of reflects, like... Or they'll say something that, like, kind of is, like, similar to my life and I'm like, that's weird. I was like, maybe they were, like, trying to, like, show me, like, what it actually looks like.
It puts yourself through a third point of view so you can see what you're like. It's like everyone wants to know, like, oh, I really don't know how I'm perceived by others. I can't see myself from, like, a third point of view. But it's like when you meet people that mirror what's happening, they're mirroring you. Like, you can literally look at yourself in that moment.
Yeah.
That's why I get so frustrated when people do things that are so blatantly obvious to something else they know and it mirrors that. Or like if me and a close friend are like going through a similar thing and I'm aware of it but they're not, so they're not learning from me or choosing to absorb what I'm teaching them, whether or not I'm actually like teaching them or I'm just living my life and they should be taking notes of the world around them, and that's their form of teaching. It makes me so annoyed when people have all these reading material and that means to like educate themselves and get through it, and they just ignore it. How so?
How, like, she's in a similar scenario that I was in, and she's not, like, taking my experiences and, like, learning from them.
Yep, exactly. It's such a slap in the face, because it's like, how can you not see that was my reality, and now it's yours? You got to see your future self now. And you're not learning from it. You're gonna let history repeat itself, except now it's you who's gonna have your turn.
Exactly. It's gonna keep repeating until you wake up and figure it out.
Mm-hmm. This is really tangential, but whatever. Why do we settle?
Why do you settle?
I feel like I have a tendency to settle.
I feel like we're scared to go for better and treat ourselves right. We feel scared to take what's rightfully ours because life has been giving us shit and other people have been giving us shit or taking shit away from us. We've been taught nothing but that, so we'll take it away from ourselves or deny ourselves the pleasure of that experience that we deserve. That would be best for us, because we self-sabotage because the world has taught us nothing but.
Damn, that was really deep. It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
I would second that.
I mean,
cruel
it's
world.
sad because, like, it's true.
That exactly.
Like, that's
what
why
makes it worse,
it's so sad.
There's no denying
it's true.
it. Now I got the chills. Yeah, I guess we've just had no good examples of people getting what they deserve for the better and willing it for themselves and not having it be just karma. Like, if we have the choice to deny ourselves or allow ourselves to experience something, sometimes we choose deny. Like, if we're not, like, trying to indulge, like, we'll self-sabotage by denying. Sometimes it's good to deny and, like, okay, now you reached a higher moral ground. But other times someone brought you something good and you're not letting yourself have it. Doesn't mean that you necessarily go down, but it's like you could have moved up in that direction and you might have enjoyed that. That might have been something that was good for you. And now you won't have it.
Are you, like, a risk taker?
Yes.
You are?
Literally, that's my whole chart. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say
I'm
Aries
built for risk. Literally, just the whole Aries Aquarius down the whole entire fucking chart.
Dang.
Yeah, I just see everything as a learning opportunity. I don't know. I just go, Cause like,
So it's like an
fearful?
immediate impulse?
yeah, I still do feel fear, but I just push past it because I'm just like, because
How
also
do you
it goes
do
back
it?
to what I said before, that I just feel a lot of things just like I used to think fear was like, I don't know, like my anxiety, like I used to think that was bad, but it was just me anticipating like new energies coming in, and then I'm just like, okay, because now I'm just like, okay, I just get myself excited for like new shit coming in instead of like thinking about like, oh my god, I gotta do all this work and stuff.
So
It's
do
like,
you,
okay, I'm gonna
turn
get all
your
this new stuff.
anxiety, like, into like a positive?
Yeah, I have to
How
turn
do you
shit
do
around.
that?
You turn it into like educational fuel? Holy shit.
Yeah, it's like the whole thing
This
about
man
what we said that like,
commodified fear and is growing directly from it. He's not
Exactly.
suffering and then pulling through the suffering
Wow.
and growing.
Literally,
He's directly growing
teach me.
from the source. These are some fucking GMO
it
fucking
depends.
shits you're growing over
Geo-
here.
It
He has
depends
the
on the
GMOs.
It depends on the situation. It's just that everything is just your perspective.
Yeah.
It's like what we're saying, that like nothing's nothing's a bad situation. It's all a learning experience. That's how I just see everything. I just like see everything as like, oh, it's like, I don't know, let's say like that I had a shitty experience with a girl or some shit like that. It's like, okay, what did I learn from that? What did I like, what do I not want to see in like another person that I want to like, you know?
Exactly. I
So
know
what
I've
do I
moved
not
through all
want
that
from
shit
this?
like that. It's taught me nothing about how to move forward, but it's not always, I wouldn't say that yours is instantaneous, maybe. Maybe that's a little fast, unless that is your experience. Good for you. But I would just say maybe it takes me longer to acknowledge that sometimes. And not that I'll wallow in it for a minute, but I'll be like, I don't know, fooled, like there's a veil over it. And then I throw the cloak aside. I'm like, okay, wait, that was actually a good thing, and I learned A, B, and C, and I know that I'm worth more and deserve not to have those things in my life anymore, and that I'm able to move past that, and then I should move past that. Why should I like feel otherwise? But I just
Exactly.
feel like I don't realize that for a while. Because my judgment
'Cause-
is so clouded because they told me that that's how I should
You know what
feel.
it is? Because like I saw this acronym. It was like for fear, it's like false evidence appearing real. So like that's what anxiety and fear is. It's just like you're looking at it like the wrong way. And it's like, what am I not really like seeing all of in this? Like, because like I don't know. It's like it. How do I explain this? Because I thought of it in like a drug way for a second. It's like when you get that anxious feeling when you're feeling weed, it's like you just gotta smoke more because you're not there yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like
Yeah.
you're in that weird in between stage. It's like you're not just fully there. It's like you just gotta push through it.
But you know, for me, like, I normally just get anxious right before I'm gonna like do something for the first time, meet somebody for the first time. Like that is when like my anxiety is at its peak.
Yeah.
And it's not even just like I'm not thinking, oh, I
It's a
can't
new
do this, I
perspective
don't want to
coming in.
do this. It will literally like manifest itself in my stomach to it being cramped. So like my anxiety is like not even like in my head anymore. It's like manifesting in my body, like physically. So like is there a way, do you think, to like combat that? Like,
I would just say that it's probably your body just also reacting to that energy as well.
And you know
it's
what?
like you're like forming in with each other, and it's like new. So like eventually it just becomes normal. But everything, because like everything new has that feeling until you understand it, and then it goes away.
Like once you actually do it, you feel so much better.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like a natural like drive-ish to like kind of understands what the thing really is.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly.
But some
and
people could get turned off by it and be like afraid and just kind of like.
the
not.
reason your body can also feel some type of way is so that your subconscious makes your conscious self aware that something big is about to happen. You are either coming across such a strong energy, good or bad, but their field is like making yours vibrate even more so, and sometimes it's triggering your brain to react in physical ways. And I would say that's like our spidey sense. Like if you feel anxious with this person on this date, maybe it's not a good anxious, and your body physically can't stand to be around their vibration. It is messing with and disrupting yours. Or you get a good nervous before, because it's a sign, it's a forewarning for like a good omen. Like, oh my god, you're nervous before you leave the house, because like, what if I fuck this up? Because deep down I know that I need them right now. For whatever
like,
that may be.
How do you tell the difference? Like, how do you like push past the, okay, this could potentially be really good for me, I gotta get through this,
versus, oh, this is just not a good feeling. Like, this part, like, I gotta get out of here.
If it lingers, it's bad, because I would say then you're still shaking. Because, like, if it's beforehand, it's like a tingling spidey sense. But if their existence makes it, instead of clearing that away, if
and
it
you're
clears
just
it
kind
away,
of like,
it's good.
like that, like weird
my
throwing
God.
up feeling.
Okay,
like you kind of know, like when
Yeah.
like someone's just like, yo, they feel off, they're
Like, if
bad,
physically
like
being around
something's
on
fucking
every
weird.
other date I've been on this year.
Maybe it's
literally.
life is trying to show you what not to look at, and like, and when you do get that one person, and you're just like, oh, okay, these are all the things that I want in them, you know? It's like I've seen so many people that have like these shit qualities that I don't want, that when you do see the person that you do want, you know exactly what it is.
It's literally
And you
like
say-
thinking about someone versus what the situation actually is. So it's like, oh, this idea of them sounds good for me, and then you meet them and your body still knows that, oh, it's not good. But if it is good, those like triggers subside. Your soul feels at peace in this person's existence. What you're doing is the right thing. But if you feel scared, maybe it's not. And that's why I really, anytime like I become mute or like I freeze or I like tense up and shake, I'm like, my body physically does not want me to be doing this right now. I will listen to it. And I give into my body all the time. Sometimes I'm just like, maybe this is dead ass some physical ailments and I need to stop reading into everything my body does, because maybe this physical reaction isn't always for something that I think it is, or maybe it's not obvious, or maybe it's really obvious. But I don't know. I do believe in my body reacting to the world and like sensing things.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe I'm too stupid to feel otherwise. Instead of getting like a gut feeling when I think about it, like my whole entire body physically cannot stand to be there. It senses something before I even get the message myself.
So after my last boyfriend, like, if I like thought about him, I would physically like flinch.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
I
your
would-
body reacting to their energy
Yeah,
because
like,
you're immediately just rejecting it.
it
You're
was
like,
so
ugh.
real.
It's like, you know when you ran,
sucks.
like, you know like when dogs just shake and stuff? It's like them shaking
gotta, like,
off like
shake off the
energies.
shit.
Yeah, literally.
I'm
It's
gonna
like, you know,
start
like when
doing
you're
that.
just like, ugh, like you're
you know what's
quivering. It's like you're
weird?
just shaking that energy
You know what's
off.
weird? I get random twitches every now and then. At one point, I got them really often, but it turned out I was in a really bad situation, and I remember being anxious all the time when I got twitches more often. It's like I'm literally like trying to deflect the bullshit life is trying to throw at me.
Wait, when was this? Just give me a time period. You don't have to explain the situation.
Probably early college is when I twitched the most, and I was like in and out of shitty situations left and right. There was just so many things I was harboring that I really should have gotten rid of.
Crazy for you.
No, yeah, exactly. And that's what I had to. And at one point, I was like, do I have like very, very mild Tourette's? Like, holy shit.
Oh my god.
Like the amount of times I was twitching. Sometimes it's like, ooh, like a shiver, like I'm cold. But no, it's just like a sudden jerk in my body. Usually it's like my shoulders tilting, or like.
That's insane.
It happens, like, I don't know how many people see it, and
It's
I
a
feel
lot of
like,
stress buildup.
yeah, my body's physically trying to either get rid of my own negative energy that's building up that other people put there, or deflecting it before it even gets to me. But so it's like you tense up in public when like people with like lower vibrations get near you, but like this is like a really hard, like that's like tensing up and then like bam, like shaking it off, like so aggressively, compulsively. I have no choice over that. It just happens. And I'm just like, well, like, that's so weird. So I'm like, damn, maybe that's what it is. Because I definitely don't have Tourette's, but I was just like, this feels not normal. Whatever's happening to my body, like, I wanted an answer for it. Maybe this is it. Or maybe it's just the one I feel the most comfortable with. At this point, I don't know.
I just always thought it was like your subconscious, like, telling you, like, this is fucked. Like, this is not a good situation. Like, what happened or what is happening isn't good. And it's like, maybe like you're just not like aware of like the severity of what's going on, but like I don't know, like what would it be like? Would the universe be telling you this is bad, or are you just like subconsciously like taking in the information, just not processing it completely? I don't know.
I think it's like, I think everything goes through us first and then we process it afterwards.
Yeah.
It's like it happens.
And different parts of us
it happens and then we're just like,
So it's like
what?
a delay of like information
it's
transfer.
a delay.
And
It's like
some
because
things
your
only go
body's
to
trying
your
to process it and then it
subconscious.
goes into your mind and you're trying to rationalize it.
I feel like not all of it is processed through every part of our being, and that's what's different. Like, sometimes our subconscious is like, girl, and then you twitch. But sometimes it's our conscious, and we're like, all right, we're physically gonna walk away from people. Like, you ever find, like, literally body language, your feet point to people you're talking to. like, your arms crossed in front of you, you're closing yourself off. Doesn't mean you necessarily hate the person, but maybe you're uncomfortable. Maybe there's, like, thoughts in your mind, and you're just like, oh, like, I'm kind of feeling, like, iffy in this conversation right now. Like, physically, like, that's where you're putting your energy. That's how you're receiving it. That's how you're open to it. Like, your body is literally, like, choosing how to filter out its reactions.
Do you guys think that's, like, immune, or are we aware of, like, our body? Because I know, like, at times, like, I will realize, like, my arms are crossed and I'll, like, uncross them. But for the most part, I feel like I'm not really aware of, like, which direction I'm pointing. Like, if I'm in a conversation with somebody, like, I don't really realize, like, if I'm more, like, touchy with you versus I'm less touchy with you, or I'm standing closer to you and I'm not standing as close to you. Like, I'm not normally aware of that.
I pick up on it sometimes, and sometimes I'll be so self-aware I will do it on purpose because I know that other people might pick up on it consciously or unconsciously. I'm like, you know what, if I don't like them, like, I'll literally like start turning my body. Like, there's this guy at work that keeps on trying to, like, and he's this older gentleman and he loves to talk, but I'm like, I gotta leave, like, I need to go home. So I'll, like, start turning my body away, or have, like, my feet pointed away. I'll have my arms crossed, or I'll have, like, my shoulders, like, hunched or something, like, some kind of way that makes me feel, like, vulnerable or in a rush or not interested. I will make myself look that way so he can read my body language. And unfortunately, like, I guess he never picks up the fucking, like, pieces. He doesn't get the hints. He keeps on running his mouth. But some people do get it, and then they leave you alone without having, like, no one saying anything. It's like an unspoken language. And it's like, unfortunately, it's like in school in the cafeteria, like, people don't make eye contact from you, like, they shift their shoulders up towards you. It's
or
like
on the school bus, if, like, nobody's making eye contact with you, like, that means you can't sit next to them.
Yeah. Like, these unspoken words. A universal language. Body language. That's another one. See, these are the truths. Our
Body
senses... Our senses,
emotions.
fears, emotions in general. That's the word I was looking for, because fear is only one of them. Yeah. Responses, senses, emotions.
I guess then
those
just
are the
language
truths.
in general is like a universal truth.
I
Like,
wouldn't dumb it down to just
like,
language, because, we can communicate through any sense. But that's just where that we choose to channel in different ways. I wonder if there's any languages that haven't been able to capture all the emotions, you know? Because there's so much English literature, and obviously, like, there's so many of us, and it's a common language, but it's like, are there any other languages that, like, have left that out? Or have added more to it? I feel like
German.
Latin was onto something.
Like, if you think about it, like, there are all those, like, crazy, like, German words that, like, literally describe everything that's happening.
Yeah.
True. Like, there's no translation for some words, like those words.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's, not no translation, no equivalent for those words.
Yeah, when you said that, I immediately thought of, like, some Japanese words and stuff like that. And
like,
I was
that
like,
character
sometimes they're
exists
so
for only
specific.
that word.
Yeah, it's like, it's so specific to that culture and that, like or
that's
emotion
their experience,
or some shit. Yeah.
so they have that word.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Or that was just a common enough experience in their culture that they made that word. Doesn't mean that we couldn't have had the same experience.
Like, the Carnival.
Exactly.
Like, in, like, South America, like, the big party they have, like, basically, like, all across Spain, all across Latin America. Like, we don't really have anything that compares to it, so it's just the Carnival.
Exactly. Or in New York with brick titties. It's so fucking cold.
God.
Everybody universally agrees it's
Or
fucking
what's
cold.
good.
They say brick titties.
It's like,
or
hey,
what's good. Yeah.
How are you?
Yeah.
What's going on? What's good?
Literally.
Exactly.
I always thought that, so I'm not fluent in Spanish, but I have a decent comprehension of it.
Me too.
And from what I've, like, studied, I would say that in English we have a decent amount of words that mean the same thing, but I feel like in Spanish it's a lot of the same words that have different meanings. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen that TikTok where it's a woman speaking Spanish and the same word sobre is repeated, and it's like
Yeah.
it
It's
just
the
has
context.
so many
Yeah.
different
There's,
meanings
like,
to it.
it's the
There's literally
intention
a
of
French
what you're
person that
using
said
it
one
for.
word over and over again too, and it was a whole sentence. Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
The
it's
amount
a
of
crazy
times I've
fucking
seen that, I'm like,
thing.
damn.
It really is.
Like, at first, like, I was like, what the fuck is she saying?
Like, that combination of sounds means this, and, like, how can you look at all those, like, do you feel the same way when you say those sounds? Like, why was that created? Who's deciding? Like, who created words?
We are.
We did. I guess it's the universal truth. Yeah.
No, but it's like, I'm saying car because someone else said that's car. Can I make a new word for something else?
I mean,
Can
if
I
you
just
point at it and
say-
look at it, and you'll be like, that's a car, but I'll just be like, it's that's, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, and then
Like,
you know what I'm talking about.
But how is
though.
that going to become accepted vernacular? Who decided?
I guess it's just the distribution of the knowledge.
Let's make our own
Like,
language.
if enough
Language is
people
just
like
like-
know what it means, it's gonna catch on.
Yeah, it's
So-
just like I feel like that it's
So
just
we
like
gotta
an
gotta
idea.
start talking.
You
to
gotta
as
get
many
into the
people as possible.
You
Yeah.
gotta get into the
Outlandish
history
words.
books. The government protects all the history that is distributed.
If you think about it, I feel like that everybody literally has like telepathy with each other. It's just that we just use like our mouths to convey like the
Literally.
idea. It's just like that. Like I have the idea, and then I say some weird fucking vibration that goes to you into your head.
Vibrates
and then,
in your fucking head.
What I say
Literally,
vibrates
oh.
through the air into your head, and then you interpret it in your way.
And I feel it. I literally feel myself accepting it. I
Yeah.
feel it pass like a rod through the front of my forehead and go in.
Your third eye.
And then rattle back here. Yeah, it passes through my third eye. And then I feel rattle behind my ears. I wonder if there's like a certain part of the brain there. Like maybe that makes sense where I feel it like move through my brain. It's like, whoa, when it hits the cerebral cortex, it goes zzz, like some shit like that. Like,
In a lot of spiritual things, they say like the ears and the third eye are connected in a triangle.
oh shit.
that might
Oh my
be
god,
it.
then it completes a triangle.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
If it hits here, reverberates to here, and then it passes to here.
It sends throughout all the points. That's crazy. Because it feels lit up after and it like beams up.
Yeah.
Literally a light bulb. Maybe that's
'Cause
why
that's
they
what
have
they
the
say
light
the
bulb
third
over
eye
people's
is.
heads. Because that's the light bulb they feel. Like it just turns on like a flick, a buzz, and it lights up. Like your head is illuminated with that thought.
Yeah.
Like people have been feeling this way, and that's why that's invented in the cartoons. Because like, why would like literally a light goes off in your head? Like that's interesting. Like that thought.
So
was
are
there, put
thoughts the
there.
light? If you think about it in a religious term, when they say, "Oh, the light's coming in," what if it's just like
Do
a
they
thought
say
or an
go
idea
to the light or
some
don't go
shit?
to the light? They don't want you to go to the truth.
Well, in Beauty and the Beast, she says step into the light. But then
See
in
the truth.
But then
The light
like the
is
Bible
truth.
See his
starts
truth.
with let there be like light.
Yeah, let there be light.
And then but we also like have the connotation of, oh my god, I see the light when people are dying.
Yeah, like, don't go
So it's
into
like
the
it's at the
light.
creation and it's also at the ending. So we don't know.
What if we're just birthing
Everything
into another
starts and
world
ends
at
with
the end,
truth.
and then that's what we're seeing? It's just like there's a lot of cultures that say that like when you're like in that weird transition, like when you're old and just kind of like getting in dementia, it's like they say that's like your life now preparing to go into the next life that you're going into. So you're just pretty much fading in and out of like your new life and like your
What?
pre-existing life and your
Okay,
next
I got
life.
the chills.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
interesting.
And then
But
when
they
you
can't
die,
be
you see
aware
the
of
light.
it.
It's because you're being birthed again. It's because you're seeing,
Yeah.
you know,
It's the end and the beginning is rooted in truth.
yeah.
But you just pass through and you're moving from truth to truth until that body can understand what that soul is trying to get you through.
Yeah. And then you're just constantly reincarnating.
So first episode we have growth. Second,
Yeah.
universal truth.
Damn.
Covered a lot.
I just
Really
think it's
did.
interesting how no matter what time we say something, it keeps on coming up and up. Like again and again, we keep on learning new things about it. Like the amount of universal truths, we went from knowing none to feeling like I really have like a grasp on it now.
we literally were just like, what is the universal
Where was
truth?
this conversation in 11th grade when we had to write this
Yeah.
essay?
I know.
Yeah.
I still don't even
Bro.
know. I still need to look up what she meant because I want to know what she thinks her
Email her
universal
tonight.
truth is.
What is a universal truth?
Like
We
dead
were
ass.
just contemplating back in the...
She'll be
Just
getting
like
that
the episode
2 a.m.
of the podcast.
email.
She'd
Yeah.
be awake too. She'd be looking at cat memes.
Very valid.
Hi, Miss Brown.
Hey, Miss Burnup. Yeah.
Can you imagine, like, if she just, like, so happens to listen to this?
That would be crazy.
That would be fucking insane.
She has to know it's us. She has to know it's her.
She knows what's up. She knows the vibe.
What if
She
could-
always did.
What if her ears are ringing right now? And that's what I always wonder. I'm like, yo, what if there's some shit happening down? Like, that's really weird that happened. Like, maybe it doesn't even have to be someone talking about me and sharing that thought with someone else. Maybe it can just be them having it. Like, anytime my name is thought into this universe, whether it's spoken or stays in their mind, that's why my ears ring. Damn, people ain't thinking about me enough. I haven't had my ears ring in a minute. No, I'm kidding. But
Interesting.
Because I hear people say that, and I also hear it saying, like, there's, like, other, like, forces trying to, like, work with you, and then that's what's, like,
I haven't
the
heard
kind
that
of, like,
one.
ringing in your ear or some shit like that.
Because I feel like the amount that my ears ring or don't ring, like, that doesn't make sense. Like, you know my mom be thinking about me all the time, because she bugs me on Snapchat every day. Donna. So I'm like, I feel like, I don't know. But maybe it's like, maybe it's anytime it's in a bad way, your ears ring. Because, like, someone's, like, trying to throw disrespect on your name.
Do you think it's in a different ear, though? I feel like it depends on which ear. I feel like in my left ear, it's, like...
Are we just gonna, like,
higher
start
ups
tracking
working?
our earaches?
Yeah.
Because that's what I've been doing, honestly. Because in my right ear, I barely get it. That's weird. Is that universal coincidence?
Why? See,
we got it. They're like, you're on the right path.
do?
They're like, you're on the right path. Okay, so I feel like the right ear, if you hear it in the right ear, that's shit talk. If you hear it in the left ear, because if you think about it, left you're receiving, and right it's like
That's
giving.
how it is.
So
I
it's
was
like
just gonna say with the
it's like
money,
you're receiving
if your
the
hands
good
tingles.
stuff. Yeah, it's like if you're receiving good stuff, I guess it will be in your left.
Yeah.
And then if you're just like, if it's shit.
If your left hand's itches, you're gonna
rid of it.
get money. If your right hand itches, you're gonna give. I think that's what it is, anyways.
Yeah.
Unless I reverse them, but
No, it's because
based on
left
what
is
you
attracting,
said-
right is
Oh, okay.
giving out.
Can't wait for my left hand to itch. I'm kind of broke right now. Let me manifest it by
Palms itch.
Let me
Fucking, like,
let me tickle my hands with a feather and manifest some money into it.
Yes.
Or is that cheating and messing with my future? Now I'm succumbing to the lower path.
I don't
Or is
know,
that
maybe.
just manifesting? Because that's not succumbing to the lower half.
No, but if like I go out of my way to tickle my hand, like instead of working and manifesting this money, I just tickle my hands to trick.
Yeah, because you're technically cheating. So
Yeah, because
you're
my
lying.
hand would tickle like naturally if that's the path I was going to. But if I tickle it myself, I'm forcing that to will its way to me, and it's not gonna be good. Otherwise, I could just manifest it and get on my grind. But instead of me being like, yeah, let me cheat the grind, like,
Cheat the grind cheats you.
and that's when a lot of what's the word? Superstitions come into play, because it's people who believe in that. Like, oh, if you spill salt, you gotta rectify it by tossing it over your left shoulder. Oh, you gotta sleep with the spoon under your pillow if you want this type of precipitation to happen by tomorrow morning, or not.
It's like, I don't get that. Like, what?
Like, people,
what is that?
they give it the power, and then it has that power, and it makes them feel secure.
I guess it
But
kind of
if
gives
they
them
give
an
it that
anchor
power,
in reality, I guess.
it's
like you're trying to
karma.
put all your, like, intention into that spoon
Yeah.
to, like, make the weather happen. So, like, technically,
You're channeling
it's not
your power
the
through
spoon,
that.
it's you just kind of, like, putting your intention into something to focus it
That's
more.
your means, I guess, the way that you're projecting it.
That's your rock.
And then why humans, some of them chose to project them through spoons, I don't know, but they really believed in that and they helped will it. If that's
It
what
doesn't
it took
matter
them
if it's
to
a spoon
will,
or a fucking potato.
yeah,
It's like you're still putting
if
the
they
same
believed
intention
in it enough, it works.
Yeah.
You know.
It's the placebo effect yet again.
Exactly. Everything is a placebo effect, but it really
You
just
really
shows
had the
how
power
powerful
the whole
we are.
time. Exactly.
Our brains are so fucking powerful.
We always had the potential. We just thought we couldn't without this. We fooled ourselves to comfort ourselves.
Exactly.
We really do have so much power.
For real.
We do.
And
It's
we
scary.
really just need to like.
We just need to
Can I talk
understand that.
about you today and like?
Yeah.
Okay, but like your date.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm so proud of Donna and
Oh
like
my
in
God.
ways like envious of like what she did. Like she asked out a guy today who's like super fucking hot.
Oh shit!
And I've had a crush on him
And he
for
said
so many
yes.
months.
Yo.
And I looked like shit. I wore
Good
my
shit.
I wore my Hello Kitty pajamas to work today, and he still talked to me. I was like, damn.
And, like,
the way I went up
That's how you
there
know.
and asked for what I wanted and got it.
You fucking.
That's how the
harness
universe
that.
works.
But let's not get too excited until it actually happens, because like
But either
he needs
way,
to
like
text
you
me
took
still.
control.
True.
Like you like
the
went
way
out
I
there
overcame
and, like,
that. What the fuck?
got what you wanted.
I never do that.
I
This
don't
is so
either,
out
and
of
I'm
character.
Gotta step out of the way of
You
fear.
have that ability.
Yeah.
Bro,
You, like,
I think
got
he.
over
I
it.
think
Took
he.
the first step.
I think he was shocked too. I think he was like,
I'd
oh,
be
wow.
shocked. I would be shitting my pants. I'd be like, yo, what? Like, what?
So does that mean
Is
that
that really-
men always
really?
have the ability, or do men just have to get over it and make themselves have the ability? Because they're always seemingly expected the ones to move first. So do men have more of a capability of being the ones to exert their energy first? Or do
The
you
societal
or
expectations.
you feel the societal expectation to make yourself have that ability?
So
That's fucked up that y'all felt that way and kept that.
What?
That men set the patriarchy and now they're mad that they have to follow it. Like, boy, let's fuck it. Fuck all these rules. Fuck all these norms and
That's
expectations.
what I'm saying. I'm like, why do we have all these fucking rules?
So he's like, now I'm not gonna do anything first because society told me I should. No, I'm kidding. You're like, yo, fuck the rules. I'm gonna do none of that. None of that shit.
I mean, that's kind of how I've been living, but...
Valid, though. You don't gotta do shit.
But yeah, that's just crazy. I would be thrown off if a girl asked me out.
Really?
Yeah.
So you've always felt the need to ask them out? Damn. The amount of pressure.
Wait, has someone asked me out?
You're like,
Maybe you just
People have asked me, but I have not. Well, I've rejected them, but like it hasn't like.
oh,
like in person or over
Yeah.
like okay. Oh wow.
I'm trying to figure out if I never have rejection because I usually don't ask people. Because it almost sounds ballsy to be like, oh, I've never been rejected, but boy,
I
never
either,
reached
but I never really
out.
put myself out there like in that way.
I mean, I've tried putting myself out there, but it was like so vague, it was barely a hint, so I wouldn't say it was an outright rejection. They just didn't take my bait, if you will. I wasn't flat out rejected. They just weren't catching on to what I was putting out there, but I never actually put it all out there. But this time, I was more forward.
You were.
And I literally was like, all right, I'm literally heading out. I have to say it now. And because I knew I could flee after, I was like, no balls.
Yeah, you could just drop it and
And
run.
the fact that I never really see this
You'd have
person,
to stay
so
and fucking
I was literally like, what do I have to lose? I either don't see them or I don't see them. Like,
That's true.
I guess I can get what I'm looking at, or like, I never have to see them again because I usually don't anyways. So I had to make the move. And if it didn't go well, I wouldn't see them. If it did go well, I still won't see them, but maybe they'll go out of their way now because I put myself on their radar. Because if I keep on waiting, like, by chance, I can't keep on gambling on chance. What a fool.
Yeah.
If that's how you play Yahtzee, you fucking suck. Don't put everything into chance. You're only allowed one. Just kidding, that's only the Yahtzee rule. You can have as many chances as you want, but it might fuck you in the end. Anyways, yeah, you just can't give into chance all the time. You really gotta, like, clear a space for yourself. And you gotta be like, fuck it. I'm making my own chance.
Exactly.
It's
Insert
so hard
yourself.
To do that.
You really have
It's
to overcome
interesting.
something and realize this, like, you're the main character in your book, but it's only a book. Like, if that chapter does or doesn't happen, like, would you rather write it or, like, never entertain it ever and wonder what that would have been like, you know? And if it doesn't get written and you, like, test it out and you decide it wasn't meant to be a part of your book, I know.
That's all good.
If you decide it was never meant to be a part of your book, then you decided that, but at least you lived and you learned. See, and I'd rather have that experience.
Yeah, everything's a learning experience.
See, at that point,
I'd rather
I'm
not say
denying
what
myself
ifs,
the
I'd rather know.
experience. Exactly. That's an example of actively denying that experience and robbing yourself of something that's potentially good, just like what I was saying before.
So that's just about like all being like safe then. Like safe and like
You're denying
not
yourself the
doing
possibility
anything.
of something greater, because deep down, your ego is scared it won't be greater. Because, again, with the whole entire upbringing, like, you've been denying yourself these positive things because you've never just been, like, given them. You've never felt you've deserved them truly. But this is your good karma coming back, but you need to take the initiative to accept it. The universe cannot will everything to you. It can only do so much. You need to take initiative. You need to take accountability. Take charge of your life. Write your story. And just decide whether or not you want to add that to part of yours. But I would rather live than regret. At this point in life, that's what I've decided. So for the longest time, I was a coward and I gave into what was convenient and what would, like, spare myself. But I didn't spare myself anything. And, you know, I spared myself the experience, which is denying myself in turn of that experience. That's what I did. I robbed myself of opportunity. Because even if it's bad, it was meant to teach me something.
Exactly. Is it even that bad if it's teaching you something?
No, and I had a great, like, let's just say it was like a half a year long relationship or something. That was a good half a year then. It helped me then. I needed that then. Why would I deny hanging out with this person and sharing our experiences for whatever amount of time? It could be romantic relationship, friendship, any kind of relationship, even business or casual or anything. Why deny myself of that fun for that moment in time, or that learning, that anything?
That's why I don't understand. Some people are always, like, I know a couple people now that they, like, won't date because the person doesn't fit their exact mold of, like, what they think they should be in like, the long run.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, see, that doesn't make any sense, because
just try it. Yeah. Why are you going to assume what they are to you? You haven't learned about them enough. I guarantee you do not know who they are. And you know what?
Exactly.
If you feel that
an ass out of you and me.
Exactly. And if you're that on the fence about it, I think you should entertain it. Because whether or not you feel like you're on the fence, like you're leaning forward, yes, no, if you're still thinking about it, you're thinking about it. Regardless if it's, oh, will they, won't they, or like, should I? If you're still spending that much time and putting that much thought into it, just do it. Just try it out. Because I think you're just like on the fence because you want to deny yourself that experience. You're like, should I do this? Should I not do it? Because I feel
like talking directly to me, because I feel like you are, or like
honestly,
like meaning it in a mean way.
No,
what you're saying is really resonating with
no,
me.
good. I'm glad it is. At one point, I was thinking that because I was like, "Girl, don't deny yourself the experience." Like,
I feel like
if you're
like,
ever getting
speaking to me.
no,
right
I think
now.
you just needed to hear this. I'm not saying this like
no,
for
I like
you,
it.
but I'm saying it to both of you guys. And if it like applies to your life, then take it. Maybe this is what you needed to hear right now, and I'm channeling this thought.
And it's also
So
for
that-
the podcast too.
So that you
It's like,
somebody else needed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all getting
So if you
out
guys
there.
needed this, get into it. If you feel on the fence
Listen
about
to Donna,
something,
guys.
Yes.
do it. There's a reason why it's still occupying that space in your mind. Just take the jump of faith. Trust in that.
And I feel like you'll know whether, if it's lingering in your mind, like if it's a good or a bad thing. Because if it's like something that like you think about and you're excited, like, but you're still kind of worried, like that's a good thing. Whereas like if you think about it and you're like, oh, like you're getting like negative just connotations with it already, you know you need to avoid that.
Yeah,
but,
if you're getting those physical responses to affirm
there is
you,
a clear
affirmations
distinction.
work in both ways. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's a good thing to add to that. Yeah, you're right. See, everything's tying back in.
Really
all of this is really related. You need to take all of these things into account. This is no fucking joke. Your body is telling you more things than you know. You just need to get better at interpreting it. It's like, literally,
It's
if
just
you hand
subconscious, literally
a
telling you
human
what
a
to do.
book, not everyone is able to understand at first read. Maybe you're too young spiritually. But the example I was saying, like, if you get a kindergartner, like a 5th grader book, not everyone is, like, at that capacity to, like, interpret that and accept that and digest that. Sometimes you need to grow into it. Sometimes you need to teach yourself and make that stretch. Sometimes you're just born being easier, like, it's just easier for you to accept that information, interpret that.
Mm-hmm.
But literally, you need to, like, it's something you need to, like, read into. You need to teach yourself. You need to get there.
And the way you do that is just by listening and becoming in
A
tune
lot of
with
the time.
yourself.
Mm-hmm. Looking to other people's experiences and having that help enrich yours.
Yeah.
Indulge in your experiences. This is your fucking life. Make the most of it. Why are, like, it sounds like really cheesy when people tweet like motivational shit like that.
It's true.
But like, make
but
the
it
most
is.
of it. If you are not
I
taking,
feel so inspired right now? I'm like
Fuck
ready to like
yeah.
just do something big.
I know, me
I'm
too. I'm getting
glad.
so hyped right now. I don't know whose channel this hype
passion.
man
I
is
don't
me
know
right now.
what I need to do right now, but I gotta do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, no, I have such
Now you
fervor
got
and
the
passion
fire.
in me right now. No, I literally am on
No,
fire.
I fucking feel you. Like everything you're saying is resonating.
I feel like I should be on some elementary school stage. Like, yeah, guys, you
Oh
can
my
do
God.
it. Anything you want to do, you put your mind to it. Like, dead ass though. You are the main character, baby. Get it.
Let's do it.
Exactly.
Why deny yourself life? It's been given to you. Take that jump.
Exactly. You're gifted with life for a reason. Might as well enjoy it.
What are you gonna do?
and
Putz
experience
around
it.
and just hope that everything is handed to you? Then you're not living your life. You're letting the universe give you handouts and you're just rolling with the punches. you are not actively living at that point.
And like, if you're not really taking a risk, like, you're just remaining stagnant. And
Yep.
Yeah.
Your life
not
is
really
circumstantial.
living. It's just, okay, you wake up every day, make myself a cup of coffee, go to school, go to work, go to bed. That's not really living.
No,
That's
it
a
becomes
fucking
routine.
game of life.
And you become a robot, and
Literally a nuclear ass
that's
family.
what the fucking society wants. They want you to just
But, like,
be
we
robots.
can't do that. We literally,
No.
like, we can't allow ourselves
And
to
I-
succumb to that.
And I keep myself away from people like that because you and the 5 people you're closest to influence each other so fucking much. And if someone's just not gonna allow themselves to progress, I do not want to be, like, even if they're, like, a nice person, quote unquote, I don't want to be by that. Like, if you're not moving forward, you can't be with me because I'm going to surpass you. Like, there are literally some friends that have done no wrong. I've just grown past the need for them. And that sounds kind of rude.
There's
like,
nothing wrong with
but it's
that,
also, like, some
though.
friends, like, in any capacity, like, you need a friend. Like, it's not, like, selfish. It's just, like, you enrich each other's lives. But some people aren't adding to it, and I don't need them. They don't even necessarily have to drain me or my energy or take away from my story.
You just can't relate.
They just don't have to add to it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't have to relate. And why am
There's
I
nothing
gonna
wrong with
spread
that.
my energy thin to all these people where they're just kind of like sitting off to the corner?
My grandma-
Yeah.
They're
my
like a
grandma has good
wallflower.
quote. I think I told you it literally last week, but
Okay.
it's, you don't have enough time for the people that really matter and that you really love, so why spend it with people who don't matter so much?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And it's just so true. Like, and if it is true that we only have, like, we're only capable to have, like, 5 sufficient and, like, healthy and stable relationships at a time, it's not a lot of people.
No, you
And
gotta
that's
make it
not a lot of
fucking
time
count.
that you can, like, delegate yourself to those people.
That's
to,
why I
like,
feel
sustaining them.
bad. It's
I'm just
Exactly.
like
so
my
exhausting.
5 people.
They say the
Donna.
Donna's all different personalities.
Yeah, no, my Gemini ass takes
Yeah,
up
your
most
Gemini.
people. Maybe that's why not that many people can say they're close to me because they don't got room for me.
You know
Yeah,
what?
two
maybe.
Like,
people.
we're both twins, so, like,
Yeah. Or maybe it's not 5
Shit.
people, but 5 souls.
5 of us right
like,
here.
if you can...
Wait,
No, yeah, there's 5 of us here.
2, 4, 6. I'm a Gemini rising, so that
Oh,
counts.
shit! Jinx. Oh my god, we're twins. But, no, what if
There's
it's...
6 people in this room right
the
now.
way...
Oh my
I
God.
feel
Like,
them. I feel them.
I feel all of our personalities just, like, meshing.
I literally like see
Oh,
them
just, like, dancing
together.
around, like-
No. Literally, I see them all dancing together. Like they're
Yeah,
all like.
yeah. I see it too. That's what I imagined.
them.
Like they're all just like in a circle,
They're
just
so-
fucking
they're
dancing.
No,
like
it's
this.
like the Charlie Brown theme song when everyone just like.
Oh yeah, yeah, they're all dancing.
And they're all like
That's
shaking their head.
us.
Do,
That's
do, do,
us.
do, do,
That's
do,
exactly
do,
what's
do.
happening right now.
We're
The
all
peanut
having
gallery.
a blast. See, we're a harmonious symphony because our souls vibe well together. Other people
Yeah.
be playing some disastrous bullshit like fucking 100 gex, alright? I don't know if y'all fuck with them, but I don't fucking fuck with them. If you fuck with them, you can fuck off. No, I'm kidding. Fuck 100 gex. What are you gonna do, you
don't
little
even know who
piss
that is.
baby?
Me neither.
Anyways, they suck. I'll play a sample for you guys in a second. Actually, no, I'll spare you. Just look it up. They suck.
I'll spare you.
No, I really.
You don't
it
want this to
makes
get copyright anyway.
Oh my god, yeah,
Exactly,
true,
yeah.
true. But yeah,
Always thinking.
they physically make me mad. They make me itch. Some things are just so. You know how like when you get like secondhand embarrassment, and that's like a felt experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I hear like shit like
The
this,
cringe.
I'm like, ooh, yeah, literally, no, that's literally the fucking word. It's like a twitch, like it's a cringe. Yeah, it's a cringe. That was the word I was looking for. But yeah. That's what basically what I was saying is 100 gex would be the sound if y'all ain't meshing well, and you can kind of tell that literally like the environment, the ambience is not good. Like you can literally when the room feels heavy, like your characters are fucking smashing shit over each other's heads, like your fucking vibrations are pounding the shit out of each other, not in a good way.
Yeah.
And right now, like, ours are, like, dancing because, like, they're really in sync.
Yeah.
They're on the same... And we could be playing different notes, but the song is still good.
And it's like progressing and it's like flowing naturally. It's just there's a
The
good
song is
rhythm.
climaxing. There's, like,
air
a
and
bridge.
the fire,
Yeah.
you know, it's just constantly just flowing
And
and growing.
I'm like kind of thinking right now, if there was like somebody else here that like wasn't in tune, like how would that affect it? Like, how would our, like, whole dynamic just change by one person?
It's like we would be connected, and there was that one person right here that would just kind of hear and be
that
like,
would, affect us, too.
No, in conversation,
Yeah,
you can feel that literally the other night when we were out with that group of people and that one girl, she was off.
God.
No, this one girl, literally, she changed the dynamic of the group. And the whole entire course of things, how they went and how people interacted changed.
Yep.
Because obviously me and you feel the same way. But we felt like we couldn't act on certain things within our way because of her presence.
I've been in that situation multiple times.
And they left. Like, she took who we were with.
She
with
robbed
her.
some of our energy.
shit.
But it's all good.
Good thing we got our energy back, though.
Yeah.
But at the time, I
Maybe
was
it's
like,
a
whoa.
blessing in disguise.
Yeah, maybe it just wasn't meant to be, I guess, that night.
Some other night. We gotta stay on that, manifest that. But she needs to keep her fucking tainted ass vibes away.
Get the fuck out.
We don't need
For real, there is no room for you here. If you're not contributing to the harmonious energy song we got going, then get kicked out of the band, bitch.
Exactly.
You're cut. You failed the
You know
audition.
who I feel like
I feel like, not that that's like mandatory, but that's really
No.
helping me like channel my thoughts better.
I feel like I'm
the fact that I'm
sober right now.
No, yeah, I feel like I
Yeah.
am
Now
too.
I feel like I'm sober.
Yeah.
Now I feel like we like pulled out of the weed cycle.
No, but
You
the
know,
thing
just
is,
like,
I still
yeah.
feel like
We're like channel with
my
it.
mouth is still
Yeah.
kind of going on autopilot. You know what's another interesting thing?
What's that?
The way that people try and prove to me that they value me and want me in their life can sometimes like seem selfish. And not even in an obvious way where they're being like a selfish bitch. But I don't know, like you ever have that feeling when you feel bad because like you like someone less because of how much they like you or want you. It's like ironically instead of being like, oh my god, they want me, oh my god, I love this. Like you are suddenly, like if you were attracted to them in any capacity or wanted them in your life, now because of their over eagerness, you don't want them because like their energy's a little weird now.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot what I was gonna say. I don't know how I'm gonna articulate this, but I don't know. Just like the way, because it's like it feels weird. Like, what do they want out of it? Like, are they thinking from themselves when they think of me, and they just like want me so desperately so that they can have possession of me? Like, what is their motive that they feel so strongly eager to have me? Like, why do they have to have me?
Because
Why
they're
can't
gaining
we,
something. Maybe
like-
you're not getting that same giving that. Maybe you're not just getting what you're giving to them.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like, by associating with you, being friends with you, being anything towards you, they're gaining something.
Exactly, and that would be
you're not
selfish.
You're not gaining anything by being an acquaintance of theirs.
True. But it's weird because, like, in some situations, at first, I feel like they're what I need. And then they act like that, and then I second guess my feelings. And I feel bad because I haven't done wrong, but maybe deep down I know that this might be wrong. Maybe they still won't wrong me, but something about this is just, like, not needed for me right now. And it's like the ick. You literally get the ick. You're so clouded by your own judgment when you see someone and you're putting certain perspectives of them and visions of them over other things that are overshadowing maybe the bad things, or maybe there's like things that literally just won't work out. Not everyone is compatible in every like capacity. Like some people are only meant to be friends and can't be lovers, or vice versa. So like people literally aren't meant for everything. Like there's friends in your life for a reason. There's people that have certain jobs for a reason in other aspects of life, and maybe that's why you get the ick. And it's like, wait a minute, these things changing now, you're not about it, you don't need it.
I understand that to some capacity because at times, like, I'll look at somebody and I'll get to know somebody, and originally I'm like, oh my god, this person is wonderful. Like, I may be attracted to them, and then I, like, get to know them even further, and then 5 minutes later it's like, I was attracted to you.
Yeah, it's like what you thought you knew. Your mind tried to be smart and fill in the blanks because your brain always thinks it has to know everything. It's always assuming. Like in your periphery, that's why everything is so scary, because it's assuming that there's like some predator there, because like that's your animal instinct. That's what your mind is telling you. So it's like you've been given few of their puzzle pieces. You're like, all right, I'm assuming this is good based on the few things I saw. And then they start telling you everything else. And you're like, you know what? That's erasing what I thought was good. And in fact, is replacing it with something bad. Or maybe it's just erasing what was good. And whatever it is, that was like enough for you to feel some type of way. A change of heart. And they don't even have to do anything that foul. They can literally just, like, flip what you thought their script was, and you're like, oh, I feel like this is a whole nother person. I did not sign up for this. And then I get scared. That actually just happened to me. This guy I was talking to, like, crazy often in this small amount of time. Like, it really took off like fire, and it caught so fast. And I was so blind and saw these things. And then, like, I really spoke to him, and I was like, I feel like I was learning a different person. Now I'm relearning who you are, and I'm scared because I don't know who you are, but all I know is that you're not that person I was just talking to anymore.
Is it because you were putting, like, associations to, like, what you thought that person was? Or is it
That
because
helped
he,
me.
like, actually revealed who he was later?
I think comparing it to past experiences helps me become aware sooner, because this is not the first time I've gone through it, and the other time I got a lot further.
Ooh.
I actually hung out with him, spent time with him, and I was like, fuck, this is too far. I feel unsafe. I should not have had that happen. I should have stopped talking to them sooner. They were emotionally manipulative. They were this, they were that. And luckily I didn't give into it, because I kind of, like, rose above that and saw right through it. But I started to pick up. I got that gut feeling. There wasn't even anything, like, physically comparable that you could easily find parallels between. Like, I just had that same feeling that that person's energy that I knew was bad was comparable to this person's energy. And they did not do any of the same things. I just felt it. And I was like, you know what? I don't know. So I FaceTimed them instead of meeting up with them. And that was the good move. Because I got the ick immediately. And I was like, all right.
How long were you on the phone?
Not even 2 hours.
That's a long time.
You know what about
Like,
this?
what's up? She's like, not even 2 hours.
My phone
Oh,
calls.
3
My phone
days.
calls. My phone calls are usually 6 hours if I like.
But, like,
I'm
with
free.
somebody you don't even like?
Girl, I was texting this person until 7 a.m. like the day before. Like, but yeah, it was at least an hour probably.
I have a hard time with that. I'm like, as soon
Me
as
too.
I don't
If-
like somebody, I just, like, I can't do it.
I find
That's
out
how I was.
can't
That's
fucking do it.
literally
I'm
exactly
guilty
how
and
I
have
am,
to
because,
keep on
like,
stringing along.
shit with my ex, like
Oh.
I was like, because I was like okay with her, and then she like did some sus shit, and right after that I was just like done. And
I
then
flipped
she's
the
like, "Why are you
switch.
being a fucking dick?" And I was like, "Cause I do not like you, and I do not respect you anymore." I was like, "Get the fuck out of my life."
Yeah.
Like, I don't care.
No, it's kind of like the same story with me. Like,
Yeah.
my ex, like, did some, like, fucked up shit. And up until, like, that time, like, I had viewed him as, like, the most, like, amazing person. Like, I thought, like, I was so in love with him and he was so in love with me. But, like, it was, like, a light switch flipped off.
Yup.
And, like, I was like, okay, I have to break up with him. Like, I don't even want to look at him anymore. Like, don't talk to me. I don't want to be associated with you.
The veil
Exactly.
was
I
lifted.
get
Just
it.
like, give me my shit back and get
Yeah,
the fuck out of
like,
my
don't
life.
talk to me
Yeah,
anymore.
the cloak was pulled back from over your head. You're like, okay, now I can wake up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It just took that to really be like, okay, we're gonna tap into this sense right now and realize this is some fuck shit.
Yeah.
Like, for me, when I'm uncomfortable with somebody, I just clam up and I don't say
Yup.
anything, because, like, the other option would be, like, to me, like, to go off on them, which, like, that's not the right thing to do. So it's like, it's better for me to just be quiet.
You're sparing
and step
their
away
energy.
from the situation
It's not
than to
worth it.
indulge myself in it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's no sense in giving in your energy like that, because to blow up, it still takes energy.
Yeah. And it's not always reciprocated.
No. Or sometimes, like, literally, even though you shouldn't have.
Me just being an Aries, just
Yeah.
being like, explosions.
Yeah. But,
I feel like things more blow up in my face more than I blow up in somebody else's face.
yeah, because I think they know that we can take it.
Maybe.
Not even that we'll always go back to them, but that we won't stoop down to their level and
I
give them
hate.
that. I know.
I hate that. I'm
And
just
it's
like, I want to
can't
say
do that because it's my
but I
moral
don't.
code, but also
I tell
I can't
people
do
off,
that
I don't
because
give
they
a fuck.
assume.
Really?
Yeah, I don't
I
give a shit.
wish.
If I
I
have
pick
the
and choose
propel,
when.
if I have the propel, like if I have the feeling to tell someone off, they need to know it in that fucking moment.
Oh my God.
Because
Sometimes I feel like
they
they don't
need
deserve
to
it,
have that
though.
perspective
Yeah.
change.
I can name like 2 people right off the bat I should be blowing the fuck off on right now. I'm like, you know what? They're not worth it right now. They really aren't worth it. Like, if I have to tell them that was some fuck shit,
If I have to
they're
go out of my
fucked.
way to do it, I'm not gonna do it. If it's in the moment, I'm gonna fucking do it.
And you can't change people. It's sometimes you can tell someone, hey, I caught you slipping. Let me help you back on your track to become your higher self. But sometimes it's like, you are a piece of shit. There is no changing you. I just finally caught on to who you fucking are.
Because
I am
sometimes they need to
abstaining from
hear that to
You're
get
not
their
getting
fucking
that.
asses to get
Sometimes people are too far gone, and it's not. And it's
but
not
the thing
my
is that
job
you're
to
planting
do
the
that.
seed, so when life fucking falls apart for them, they hear your advice.
That's true.
So that's the first thing that they hear when shit goes south. It's like, it's not going to help now, but it helps them later.
So, like, in the moment,
It's like,
they're,
I'm a
like, more
fucking
likely to be
farmer. I'm just
defensive.
planting seeds. Yeah. It's
Maybe
because they
it's not
get
my voice
defensive
that'll
because they know
resonate.
that you're right, but then when the time's right that they need to change, they're going to use that.
Hopefully, like the words come
But
back.
that's
they're
to
not
them.
stupid.
It still doesn't mean you should be taking it, though.
Yeah. Still gotta decide who's worth your energy.
Don't take shit from no one.
That's
Fuck
a
them.
fact.
Even if you're giving someone quote unquote negative energy, you're still giving energy.
It's true.
And it's still draining you. You might not be absorbing the negative energy, but you're still draining yourself.
I'm connected to the unlimited potential of energy. I don't give a fuck.
How are you? No. That's some fuck
Just
shit,
blow-
alright?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not the devil.
The way I was about to throw hands, I was like, why does this man
Imagine
get
if I
all the
blow people
energy?
up.
Why does he get all the fucking shit over here?
Everybody has the potential to tap into that energy. It's just
Get the energy.
Bzz, bzz. I'm charging.
It's the same shit what Jesus said. It's like everybody's connected to their God.
See, why do they not talk about that more in like religious ed? I went to religious ed for so many fucking years, and the only
It's
thing they did
because
was
they
have us
want you to
memorize
fucking be in
Hail
a cult.
Marys and go around the rosary and say every fucking prayer and every fucking bead. What did that teach me? Nothing. Also, we learned recently, somewhat recently, that half of those words were mistranslated. We've been believing in like the wrong
Exactly.
things.
Weren't we talking about that too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some man translated some man, and then we said it out loud, then we had some old man preach it to us, and then we said it back, and then we thought how we felt about it. Bitch, religion taught me nothing.
But, like,
there's so much to be learned from it, but directly what they're teaching us isn't it. It's like, no, because we literally need to interpret their story. It's like, this is according to Mark, because like that's what he interpreted, but it's like we need to interpret what he's interpreting. We need to stop taking someone else's life and someone else's story as the truth and learn ours from it and take what we need from that. We need to adjust ourselves and move on, knowing this knowledge, but not taking it and making it our path. We need to take that and help it get onto our path. We can't take that fucking road verbatim.
Yeah.
That is stupid for people to do
like,
that.
people are utilizing, like, religion as, like, excuses for their moral beliefs and their political beliefs. But, like, there is nothing I we had a conversation last weekend that stuck with me. So I asked my grandma, who's, like, super religious, like, super Catholic, but, like, she's very progressively Catholic.
Okay.
Like, she is, like, for abortion. Like, she's just, like, she's cool, my grandma. And she also has her master's in theology, so she knows what she's talking about. And I was like, Grandma, like, is there anything in the Bible that, like, is, like, anything to do with, like, the LGBT community? Is there anything to do with, like, what's going on? And she told me that there is literally nothing in the Bible that has to do with a woman's, like, reproductive rights. It has nothing to do with the LGBT community. Like, literally the only thing Jesus said is, love one another the way that I would love you, which means that we should love everybody equally.
Exactly.
So, like,
it's just everybody's
just
their...
like grasping for like some excuse to have a shitty perspective and a shitty point of view, and like what they're basing it in isn't even like factual.
Exactly. There's just like,
no-
oh God,
no-
a higher power said this,
But
this is
no.
what he
But it's
signed
really
off
just your
on.
own fucking opinion.
No,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like, stop using things as an excuse and just
Exactly.
say how you feel.
Yeah.
Because it's like if someone came at you, it's like, oh, you're not coming at me. You're coming at what God said. You're going to tell me that God's wrong? No, bitch. That's how you made yourself interpret it. You
Exactly.
made it fit your script. You did not base this shit off anything.
Did I talk
There's
to
no
you?
truth rooted in that.
Exactly. Did I talk to you about the Gospel of Judas?
Refresh my memory.
Okay, so the Gospel of Judas was in the Bible, but they ripped it out because it didn't fit the narrative. Of the
Oh,
whole
yes,
thing. But it was
yes.
pretty
You didn't
much,
tell me what it was, but you told me that they took that out.
Yeah, it was pretty much that, like, it was talking about, well, like, the first half is, like, Jesus talking to Judas about, like, how the universe actually works, but, like, that's, like, a whole other thing that I don't, like, the second part of it was that all of the apostles of Jesus, they all had a meditation that, like, there was a church and there was, like, 12, like, priests that all, like, lined up, and then they would get, like, they pretty much all, like, use, like, Jesus' teachings, but it was, like, false and shit like that, and they were, like, preaching to sinners and whatnot. So then they all went to Jesus, and they were like, yo, what the fuck? And then he's just like, all those 12 priests were you, and then pretty much you were saying that, like, since that your interpretations, it's like he's pretty much saying that my word is truth, your interpretations are going to be wrong because it's not my version of it, it's what you're interpreting it as. So, like, when you go and pass my message on, it's going to be wrong because it's not the actual message. It's what you
like
perceived it as. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I should have akined it to the whole time, or maybe I did.
Exactly, because it's like Jesus could have said bananas are amazing, and then someone could have said, oh, I didn't hear the word
I heard bananas
banana.
bobazin.
Yeah, and it's like bananas bobazin. And everybody goes in up in arms and fucking teaches this shit and then kills the shit ton of people, you know?
That's a fun word.
Jesus said bobazin.
I wonder if that
slaughter
means anything.
millions. Like,
can that be the word we invented tonight that I was trying to invent earlier?
Bobazin?
It just came to me.
Bobazin.
Bobazin. What should we
Imagine that
define
just
it
be
as?
some fucking demonic shit coming through and Donna's
Holy
just like,
shit,
yeah.
if I looked that up and
No, I'm just kidding.
and like a spirit
Bro, no way.
something came to me and it was like Bobazin and it's like Beelzebub's fucking cousin twice removed.
His retarded stepbrother or some shit like that.
So this is what I think Bobazin should be spelled, like Babazin. So I'm gonna look that up. So it's a Goan restaurant in India.
In India?
So I want to
Some
know what it
Indian
means.
guy is channeling
Is
through
it some
you.
guy's name or does it like mean something? But it
I
looks
saw
like
it
it's
as
a noun. It's like
Bo
someone's name.
Bazin. Yeah,
too.
Bobazin.
Okay.
Bazin.
Bazin. It doesn't exist.
Oh shit.
There's like
New
some.
word.
There's a Bobazin
New
like
mantra.
market, but it pretty much looks like it's a name. Most people just use it as a name.
Because now it just sounds so familiar. I don't know why. It's like Bobazin.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I've heard it before.
Me too. It's like, damn.
It
It's
has
so
the same energy
Bobazin.
as bombastic, but definitely does not mean the same thing.
Bobazin.
Mr. Bombasic, truly fantasic. We should make a new one. And that's why we should have a cover band. And this is why I've been saying this to everybody. The amount of ideas this group creates whenever like people like link up like around these fucking vibes right here. I feel like I should be creating things for people to hear. I'm onto something. Even though it's fucking stupid, I feel like it needs to be heard.
Then do it.
Maybe.
What are you contemplating it for? Just do it.
What?
You want to do it, just do it.
If you have means.
Don't contemplate.
I want to get a drum set so bad. I feel like my body needs to bang out these fucking patterns that I'm feeling. I get the impulse to hit it. I'm like, this felt right. Like when I hit it and I feel the sound, a part of me feels more whole. I need a drum set so bad. Can y'all manifest that for me?
I tried. I manifested 2. But they were just too expensive and too cheap.
See, I should have called that thrift shop every day to see if they're at a green tag yet. Because it'll be half off. Because the drum kit at Island Thrift in Medford was only like $28.99.
But it was beat up.
It was really fucking beat up. And it was a little kid's drum set. It was a smaller one. The one at the one in Lake Grove was massive.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I would love that. So maybe that drum kit from last night was manifested. Maybe that's it.
What's your budget?
So, $20.
$20. We're gonna give it $20.
Over 50 is ridiculous. I feel like, period. I'm not spending $100 for used shit. But like, if it's gonna be really beat up, like over $20 is ridiculous. Electric.
Are you getting regular or?
I wanted to get regular, but my mom doesn't seem thrilled. But if my sister actually ends up moving out, I'll have space.
I would say probably get electric drums. So much easier.
How much?
Like 100.
And I can hear the
Maybe
feedback
less.
live.
Yeah. Get headphones or put it into a speaker. And it literally sounds exactly like a real drum, but it's smaller and
I feel like I just wouldn't have the thrill of it
loud.
echoing like and pulsating in my hands when I hit it, and I really want to like feel it all around me, you know? Because I'm not trying to.
you can
I'm not
feel
trying to
yourself
achieve
hit it,
a
but like it's not
result.
like an actual like I know you want to feel the vibrations that it's producing while you're actually hitting the actual instruments
I'm
and
not
stuff
so
like that.
much worried about the results I'm hearing. I am still concerned about that, but not as much as I am about the felt experience and giving it to my impulses and feeling the vibrations through my hands and the air around me. I will not get the air and pressure that I so desire in this experience from hitting a pad.
That's probably why I don't like using electric drums. Because, like, when I play, like, regular drums, I feel, like, more fluid.
Yeah, you're in tune. Literally,
Yeah.
That's why I prefer taking
That's
notes
how I
by
feel
hands
playing
than
guitar.
typing. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like I'm so out of touch. I am removing myself from this experience.
Yeah.
Like, in psychology once, my teacher had us think really deep about eating a fucking piece of chocolate. He was like, yes, you're just eating chocolate, and chocolate tastes good, but, like, feel it melt in your mouth.
Oh.
Feel it just, like, slide down to your throat and, like, smell the cacao.
My
Like,
dad makes me do that with coffee. Like, that's how he, like, got me to, like, drink
Yeah.
coffee for the first time.
it's a whole experience. You really need to give into your sensory pleasures and everything.
Yeah.
I forget what he was saying, but he was like, it is a very sensuous experience. You need to thoroughly enjoy it. So for me, drumming will not be thoroughly enjoyed for me until it is a wholeheartedly, like, felt experience. And that's what interests me about Jackson Pollock. Fuck him for being, like, some other guy that just, like, dominated the field, for, like, not being, like, that deep. But, like, from an outsider point of view, just, like, he got so intimate with the canvas. He was, like, on top of that shit. It was raw canvas laid out, just, like, spraying and dumping the paint everywhere. He got into it with the materials. He brought himself to the canvas. He wasn't away with, like, some 3-foot painting brush standing and... Actually, but, like, some people could do that, and they'll dance with the canvas. That's why my teacher had us do 4-foot by 6-foot paintings, so we would be intimate with it. Even though it is large and, like, removed from us in that respect, where we can't, like, coddle it, we danced with it. Our body was an obstacle in the creation of that painting. And with Pollock, his body was dancing over to and being expressive. So it's like with the drums, I want to
Exactly.
dance with
It
them.
creates movement.
And I feel held back and like I'm tied to a chair when I use technology.
Me
Even
too.
though it's giving us this
Same.
power to achieve knowledge and do
It's
all
false
these so
power.
many things, it's taking away other abilities. I wouldn't even say, sometimes I would say it's making us dumber, but I would just say overall, it is taking away our abilities. It didn't make us dumb. It just made us dumb for giving into this other ability that's actually hindering every other sense we have. Because we're using it as a crutch because we have to rely on ourselves, yes. Rely on ourselves less because we have this available to us and we're abusing it. It's like when people, like, use elevators all the time. There's only room for 2 people, but there's actually someone who needs to use it. It's like, why am I using this and taking the shortcut out of life when I could be actively, like, working my legs and going up the stairs and utilizing my body? And I'm also taking this away from, like, someone else. In the case of me using a pad drum, I'm not taking it away from someone else. But, like, I would say, like, I'm not letting my body live the full experience.
It's a fact.
Me getting really deep about drums. Bitch, I just want drums!
No, but that actually, like, opened my mind to some shit, too. So I was just like, it's very interesting.
That's why I feel really connected to artists that are such good producers, because they got into their art. Like Jackson Pollock, like me with that one painting
Tomorrow I'm
assignment.
gonna be the greatest musician of all
No,
time.
no,
Donna just
literally.
unlocked some shit.
But it's like Trent
Yo.
Reznor with all his fucking synthesizers and modulators and pianos. He got into that. He invested himself and his body into this process, and I can pick up on that. And that's why I like the things that I do, because even though it may not be like conventionally good music, and even I can notice that sometimes I still feel that. I'm in the same wavelength as him, so I get it. And that's why I feel like people go through like music phases, because it's like what vibrations
What vibe are you feeling? Yeah.
they're feeling and what music they need. Because truthfully, music is everything. All art is everything, but music I feel like is just like
I'm
felt
exclusively
in
listening
more.
to like Broadway at the moment, so I don't know
Interesting.
what I'm going through.
you need the dopamines that brings you, girl.
Maybe.
Just like a little
True,
guilty
actually.
pleasure.
Yeah.
I feel guilty about none of my pleasures. Actually, maybe I have a few.
I just feel guilty that I'm not like a real theater kid that loves like everything to do with theater, you know? Like I love Broadway and I love like like everything to do with musicals, but like I was never like really in it. So like there's a part of me that like I'm not like fully in that community. So
Maybe that's
why
calling.
I'm guilty. What?
Maybe that's your calling. You just have that
I always
affiliation
wanted
to
to
it.
be on stage.
Then do it.
Like I always
Yeah.
like when I was a
That's
little
your
kid,
calling,
I wanted
then.
to sing.
Yeah.
Do it, girl.
But, like
It's
I don't
that. It's
know,
that. Because like. It's
For
like
some things,
that's
but not
like
all things.
because that's what I would say that your soul calls for.
No, literally, my
Maybe.
boss. At
If
my
it's
old
that
job,
thing
worked
that
the
you
same
always
thing.
like want to fucking do,
Yeah.
but it's just like, oh, I don't know. It's like, so it's like that thing that it's what you're here to do.
I don't know. I've never really done it though. So how would I know?
Just try
You gotta
it.
try it.
Gotta try
That's what
it.
she was saying
Try
before.
it,
You
yeah.
just gotta fucking do it.
Jump into it, because my
Gotta find the
boss,
means.
I feel
Yeah.
really bad. So one of my first jobs, she was saying she loves to sing, loves to dance, loves to act, and she was like nearing her late 40s, and she was getting so upset with herself for not doing the what if, because she was so into music, but she never knew what to do with it. And she got older, she started helping out with like plays at the local theater and stuff, so she could still keep that in her. And her son is doing it now, and she can live vicariously through him, but she never got to live her own life. Living vicariously through someone else is not living. And she denied herself that experience, or just like never decided to indulge in it. She never thought she deserved it. She was like, all right, I'm gonna focus on making money and not making myself happy. Big mistake, but maybe she really did need that at the time to feel physically safe as well as financially secure. So maybe in the long run that was what she needed, but she felt so bad and she felt so much remorse for herself. And she was like, you know what, maybe I'll give it a shot. So maybe she's out there like singing right now, or like doing some shows on the side, which actually I think she has been doing. So good for her. But she was really like, I can't believe that was my passion and I never did it. Like she really was just working like retail, and she was like, you know what if? And I think about that like every now and then. I'm like, damn, like I wonder if she's like living a more fulfilled life now. Like, did she take that jump? Is she like living in a place that's comfortable for her, like mentally? Because a lot of people sacrifice mental comfort for physical comfort or temporary comfort. They trade off things for instant gratification, and it ends up being cheap and temporary.
And it's
that's what
never
happens when you
good.
settle. You don't even have to settle for people necessarily. You can settle for just like situations and feelings. Stop settling for a cheap like 2-second moment of euphoria or bliss, and earn your right to be happy and secure in that.
Okay, I'll try.
You're like,
I would also say that everything's a process too, because like a lot of things, it's like with like your soul calling, I feel like it's like dedication to the process of becoming that. It's like you're not going to be 100% when you get into it. It's like a lot of people have raw talent, but like you still gotta like
Harness it.
build,
like,
harness, build, perfect
yeah,
it. You know,
some
like
people it's easier
it's a
for
journey.
them to get there,
It's
but
not
yeah,
about the end destination.
Exactly.
It's like, cause I'm into music. It's like I'm on the music path. It's like I'm not a fucking like god at music, but it's like
Yeah.
I'm on the path to like.
And that's why I feel
Going
really
there.
called to art. And that's why even though my parents and even myself at one point, I was like, I feel like I should be using my brain more. But if I feel really called to like this visual articulation of my feelings and passions, then that's what I'm gonna fucking go for. I'm gonna try and
Yeah.
enrich the minds of those who are younger, our future, and do it in this way, because this is the means through my production of happiness, wealth of knowledge, my truths. That's why I'm communicating them. And I felt
back to the
really
truths.
called to
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
The
People
truth.
people just need to find there's universal truths, personal truths, universal language, but then your personal language, bitch. Find out the one that works for you. There's no universal language for how you explain that truth. And mine's drawing and painting. No, I'm kidding. But like, yeah, more or less. That's what I feel called to. I'm a visual person. I just happen to also make my own visuals. I communicate both ways. Well, most people communicate both ways. They just may not do it the same way I do. And that's why we're all different.
Yes. The motivation corner.
Yeah.
The motivation
the
card.
amount, like the
Bro,
things
it's
I'm
the
getting.
fucking amethyst.
Yo.
The way I just want to do something right now.
Yeah, wait, is there anything we can do right now? I'm like, damn, like, I just feel like I have a lot of
we are
energy.
doing the podcast right now, technically. So
This wealth of knowledge is being spread.
Yeah.
Upon hearing this, maybe we're in it the second for other people because it's not being spoken to them yet where they can hear, but it is being said now and delivered later. And that's crazy that people can listen to this anytime.
Like, we can always listen to it too as well.
True.
Like,
I hope this comes to people at a time when they need it.
It will.
definitely came to me when I needed it. Like, I feel like I needed to have this conversation tonight.
True. The way I've been talking to you this whole time, but tonight, like, something really hit me. Because it's not like me giving you advice is, like, new, but it's, like, it's just, like, so clairvoyant. How I was just, like, running my mouth, and you were like, wait. And I wasn't
like,
even saying it for you.
Yeah. I literally, like, that whole time, I thought you were literally, like, addressing me without addressing me, and I'm like, okay, Donna, like, just call me out.
It's just a conduit of the universe, just, like, fucking channeling through her to talk to you.
I'm like, damn, do I even take credits for my own thoughts right now? Because I feel like I would have thought them sooner. Because I'm always talking to you and trying to help you out. That's what I'm here for. But apparently the universe was like, nah, guys. This is what you're here for. Yeah. Crazy. That's why I'm like, maybe, because I always used to say that not everyone's good at giving advice, but dead ass, like, maybe some people are more so conduits of the universe. Maybe it's not even people being more learned. I mean, it's that too. More experienced, more learned. But also just being like a conduit of information given from the universe at that time. And you just need that person to witness it. Because you were there for them. Because I feel like anything, like, you say yourself willingly that is like a learned and experienced thing, like, you have learned from yourself and you're passing that wealth of knowledge. But me saying that right then and there, I feel like that was like new thoughts from my head. And I was like, wow, like, this is like a new thing I'm just realizing. So I'm learning it the same time you are as I'm saying it. And I find that happening to myself often.
It's me, like, every day.
Some of it, I'm
like, did I really just say that?
Yeah, it's like, damn, like, what the fuck?
No, yeah. Because other things, I'm like, you know what, I lived this, I learned that, I can tell you based on my experience. And sometimes I acknowledge it directly and relate, or sometimes I just talk knowing that has been my truth so far.
But it's also, like, important to just, like, talk things out, because, like, there's just, like, so many tendencies in people, and a lot of times in me, where, like, you just, like, stick with, like, one thought, and, like, if you don't get it out of your head, you're just gonna, like, start spiraling, and you're gonna start thinking worse things about that one thought.
Even if it's talking to yourself.
If you just express it out loud, even, like you said, even to yourself, like, you can realize that that's not true.
Saying it feels wrong. Then, like, I love how there's an actual response.
Conversing of it, you, like, learn more about it.
It's literally, it's so funny, because this is just, like, on a joke level, and this is not the same by any means, but this is just, like, a good way to think about it, if you're trying to visualize it. It's like, when your friends are trying to ask, like, oh, who's that new guy you're talking to? And you're like, wait, you're looking at all the photos, and, like, you're like, wait, none of these are good, and it's like, alright, you're looking back at the information and realizing, like, showing them out loud, there's really nothing about this fucking guy. Physically or otherwise, you're like, wait, you're telling them stories, and you're like, hold up, my mind was playing some foo-foo shit on my brain.
Foo-foo shit.
Like, I don't know what's going on, I am delusional, and they helped me realize, wait, I have the ick now. This boy ain't. He doesn't offer anything to my life. I tricked myself into thinking I needed this. Why am I settling?
Amen.
Me, when I'm scrolling through the pics, like, oh, actually, what was the appeal here? I guess it was 2 a.m. and I was tired when I made that decision.
Too true, though.
But yeah, that's really what it is, a moment of clarity when it is spoken out loud with other people, and you realize hearing it in the third person sometimes, because when you say it out loud, it lingers and goes back into your brain. You're like, hold the fuck up. Saying it out loud, wow, that's fucked. Yeah. That even happens sometimes when I tell people about my childhood. I'm like, wait, that's not normal. Fuck.
Yeah.
Same. Not about my childhood, but, like, you realize that, like, stuff that, like, happened to you, like, past experiences, like, just, like, saying it out loud, you're like, that's not normal.
Yeah, or when people talk about traditions at their school, and it's like, y'all didn't have a fucking this kind of thing going on at your school, and everyone's like, oh, that's so fucking weird. And it's like, yeah, my reality really is that different. Like, this was weird, or, like, maybe that was messed up. I don't know, it's just like a reality check, whether or not it's like serious or life changing.
Yeah. Bounce shit off of, you really see reality.
And it's different because, like, obviously we're constantly learning about other people's experiences and shaping ours, but this one is more jarring because it's the experience that we've known only this way, and it's, like, being flipped on us because that isn't the universal reality.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just like, oh, look, we're learning about their realities. That helps mine. It's like, literally, that isn't reality. I'm getting checked right now. Reality check. Check, please.
Vibe check.
Fucking vibe check. And, like, I feel like you can vibe check all the time, though. That's the thing I like about vibe checks. They're not as jarring. Like, okay, I'm assessing and done. Like, universal check, I'm like, yo, someone pulled the fucking rug out from underneath me. Whoa, what the fuck? We were hiding shit. Like, there's skeletons in your fucking closet, bitch. Thank you for opening the door. I don't know why I couldn't turn the handle previously. I was only looking at the door and this is what I thought it was. Anyways, child, so... That's just so interesting.
That's true, though.
It feels so weird too. Like, I know the feeling sometimes as well. Like, you're just talking to someone and you're like, whoa, like, what? I can't even describe the feeling. That's the weird thing, when, like, you feel things. That's something that happens to only your body, and if you can't articulate it well, you don't necessarily know if someone else is actually feeling the same thing you ever were. Because obviously we all interpret things differently. It's like, we all know what a burn feels like, but it's like, do all of our burns feel the same? Just like how we all may not see color the same. But it's like,
it's
if
like how, like, pain is relative.
Yeah, and how if, like, I get this, like, weird feeling, like, brushing on the top of my chest like this, when I feel a certain thought, it's like, do you guys physically feel felt by thoughts in, like, the same ways? Like, I don't know, there's, like, something that, like, comes over me. I'm just like, do other people get the same things, or is this the way my body is feeling this? Because, like, even with taste buds, it's like, this is the way my body's tasting this. Why would our bodies do anything else differently, you know?
So it's all like, you think that people are experiencing everything emotionally different?
Even, like, physically. Like, you know how some sentences and smells and experiences trigger a memory that you so viscerally remember that you can just, like, feel it? And there's like this air and weight to nostalgia and things that, like, take me back and make me feel like a child again. I can't tell you how a child feels, because I'm not going back to that place mentally even. I'm just reminiscing, but I physically feel that nostalgia. Like, nostalgia very much is a physical feeling. It is not just, like, one memory. Like, it's just, like, the way I feel in certain situations just takes me back to this, like, idea of a younger self.
What if that's just our true selves and we're just so disconnected from it that we're just, like... We're really just, like, slowly, briefly, like, tapping into it. But then we just kind of, like, keep pushing it away.
I normally remember, like, specific moments with nostalgia. Like, I'll, like, smell something and I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm walking into my grandma's house when I was, like, 9 years old from that particular smell. Or, like, just, like, stuff like that. I'll remember, like, distinct moments, not necessarily, like, me at that time. So I don't know if I would, like, link to my true self. But we also get, I also get nostalgia about things that, like, just happened.
Yeah,
Like,
it's literally, it's like a sense. Like, nostalgia isn't just like, oh, I'm reflecting to when I was fucking 5.
No,
it is a feeling that runs so much deeper. Like, some things.
Do you think it's like joy? It's just like you're reflecting on the happier times?
For my mind, for some reason, goes to nostalgia, but in reality, my body's just reacting the same way it did for that. But maybe it can react this way for all things that produce dopamine.
See, now,
truthfully,
I have a tendency to, like, romanticize the past, I feel like. Like, for me, like, I have nostalgia thinking about life before COVID. And, like, life before COVID, like, wasn't perfect, of course, but, like, I feel like I'm romanticizing it to like, feel that, like, it was so much better than it is now. When in reality, like, it probably wasn't.
No, and also, how does thinking that way benefit you now? Like, why is that occupying your mind? Like, that's so weird that you're just, like, dwelling on the past, first off, and second off, that you're thinking that that's better than now. Like, we can move through this and get higher.
I don't even know if it's, like, necessarily, like, I'm comparing, like, one was better, one was the, like, versus the other. It's just more like...
Are you trying to be like, I want to go back to that? Like, is that something you think you desire?
It's just, like, I feel like nostalgia for me is, like,
wow, I can't believe that's over. I can't believe I'm now, like, in this phase of my life.
So growth is, like,
Yeah.
interesting. Like, it makes you, what's the word I'm looking for? Not paranoid, but, like, I don't know. Like, it's kind of, like, shocking to be aware of your growth.
Yes.
And how far you've come.
Exactly.
Okay. I get that too. I'm like, holy, when I think about where I was in 9th grade,
Exactly.
I'm like, wow.
Like, if you think about where
that
you were
Donna did not know what was exactly the amount of growth. It is scary how much humans can literally evolve, and the amount of evolution I've done in that short span of time. That's why I'm like, humans you would think would be growing exponentially, because I feel like I am.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to get from like 4-year-old Donna to 11-year-old Donna. I feel like that was pretty static. But from then on, I was growing so fast. I was becoming a sponge, open to learning all of this shit. And now, every time we have these fucking conversations, I'm like, holy shit, the amount of things I'm learning in minutes. I'm just like, the amount of growth that's happening. I'm like, even if we compared me to March.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be like high school,
Exactly.
like March.
It's like I'm a different person than I was last week.
Even that. I didn't want to say it though because that was scaring me too much. The growth.
It's like every day we're just different people.
Bro, yeah. Guess I had some protein powder in my shake today. Nah, fuck that shit. I wish I had a shake today.
Oh, just my backpack.
But I do feel powerful in this moment right now. I feel pretty solid about a lot of what I'm saying. Because sometimes I feel like I say things and I'm not sure of them as I'm saying them. Because I'm asking the universe.
You're saying good stuff.
But right now, I'm like, I feel very rigid in what I'm saying. Not like stubborn rigid, but like very sure. Like this is like resonating with me as I'm saying it, but was not a thought I had prior to saying it.
You're speaking your truth in the moment.
Yeah, it's coming out as it is. And that's why I'm glad it's being recorded, because sometimes I hate when I say things and I'm like, fuck, I should have written that down, painted
That's why I made the podcast, because we always get so high. I would say, like, someone would say something cool, and they were just like, fuck, I wish I'd, like, recorded that, or said that.
I forget so easily. My mind, my Gemini ass is moving so fucking fast. A million miles a minute.
Because that's what I do, too.
I can't keep control. These thoughts are just fucking bumping everywhere, and I can't focus on one for so, like, once I've thought the thought, it's gone. Truthfully, it's gone.
Yeah, it's like I already had 3 more thoughts after that one thought already fucking happened.
It takes a lot of concentration to hold on to that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, also, is that something else? Like, sometimes when I feel some way.
I feel like that we just tap into, like, the whole entire, like, there's, like, a whole, like, weird, like, spot in the universe where, like, ideas come in, and I feel like we're just able to tap into that and just, like, look at it.
True.
Instead of, we're just kind of, like, just looking through everything, and then we're just got to pick out what we want to actually enact. You know?
Word. Yeah, that makes sense.
So is that God? Question mark.
So, no, that's actually what I was just gonna say. I wasn't gonna say God, but I was gonna say, is the universe deciding that we are the ones that speak this, or are we tapping into our potential to seek it for ourselves and obtain it? Is it our mission to gain this information, or did the universe decide it will give it to us and we will speak it?
That's true.
Is that something we gained for ourselves, or the universe was like, you know what?
Are we in control, or
you
are
know
we a
what,
sin?
Matt? You are gonna know this, because I feel like you're the Isaac of this generation, and you will tell this story, and you will speak these truths. And other people can interpret them for their own and gain from your experience, because you can't be telling everyone everything. People have to learn and grow, and you're not growing if life is telling you everything. That's a circumstantial life, like I said before. Fucking boring, you're not living your life.
No.
You're sure as hell not living it for you, but you're not even living it, period. So yeah, the universe can't give it to everyone, but you have the higher potential. You can tap into that higher power and distribute it among the masses and try to educate them. And we're able to reach into that also.
Thanks.
Because not everyone is born just being able to tap into it. Like, some people it comes to easier because maybe the universe is deciding that it's you. But you can also tap into it.
I feel like everything is learned.
And some people it just comes more naturally too. Like, with picking up languages. Like, I picked up a language pretty well, but like, other things, not so much. Like, music doesn't come easy to me. Like, reading music, that is not something that, like, is in my repertoire. I could not do that, but that's why life decided that there's only certain methods that I'm meant to communicate, and I need to try harder to do other ones, but other ones come more naturally to me. Mm-hmm. Everything can be learned, but some things I just learned a lot easier.
Yeah.
And that's
it's
what
a natural skill set.
That's what always got me so pissed when I was in, like, I still am, in art school, when I see all these people around me that are so good, I'm like, fuck, like, what's the point of even trying? Like, how do I get to them? But it's like, no, I need to worry about me and growing myself, because they already did a lot of growing just before I got here.
Exactly. It's like
they were
just
at home practicing all summer long, constantly doing, like, 3 portraits all the time, like, 3 portraits a week or some shit. Like, they were on top of it. And I was marching to the beat of my own drum, and because I chose this pace, this is where I'm at. It's like if I ran the race faster, I would be further. If I paced myself, I would be at this point right now. And secure in that. But everyone's going at their own pace, and I should stop comparing myself. First off, we been knew this. Yeah. Never compare yourself. But also just, like, literally, like, you can teach yourself anything. Some people just comes to you better, and some people work at it, and that's why they're better at it. It's not even like they're born better. They worked at it, so they deserved that better.
Facts.
Period.
I keep forgetting about that one.
Or it's
period.
Like...
Period.
What's that girl from American Horror Story that everyone loves? Why did I forget her name? I literally love her. She was the twins in Freak Show.
Oh,
Sarah Paulson.
Yeah.
She's like, period T. Have you seen that video? Because she was looking at slang, and she thought period was like just period T. I mean, that's how you spell it. But she goes period T when it's like period in all caps with the T at the end.
Oh my god.
Older generations trying to learn slang. My dad swears to God that the word facts is like new as far as like slang goes.
What?
He told it to my mom like 2 days ago. My mom's like, you are so late. And he's like, I don't know, like I just heard it, like it's catching on. It's been a thing. People have been saying facts. I just think it's interesting, like, the social delay. The way information doesn't spread among other age groups. Or just, like, other ways of, other people because of their other ways of thinking. The way that information is disseminated or not. Because they're not tapping into technology, which allows us to stay in tune with a lot of things while hindering a lot of other abilities. But it's like, it mobilizes a lot of shit. That's what it does. Because now I know what people are talking about in New Zealand, and I would have never even known about New Zealand if it wasn't for the fucking internet in history class. But I wasn't good at geography, so maybe I would have forgot about New Zealand. But
I forgot about New Zealand.
Yes, deadass. Where is it? Off the fucking coast of Australia? I don't fucking know.
North of Australia.
Okay, bet. See, I thought it was east. Not that really mattered so much in this story, but I just goes to show you how much I suck at geography. Anyways.
Anywho.
Yeah, it just mobilizes a lot of information. It makes it so accessible. You can know what people, like, I had internet friends from, like, Ohio. Bitch, the way I would never know what Ohioan life is like, the way I would never care, but the way I grow to know these people and care about them and learn about their experience, and it helps mine. All these fucking connections we can make now, because, like, growing up, literally, you only had the experience of you and your neighbors, and whatever circumstances were brought onto you. And that's why I feel like a lot of Southern people that stayed there have such traditional views, because, like, they've been passing down generations of, like, farmland, staying in their fucking properties, like, living, like, the good life. They have no other comparison. They've only known that. If you have acres of land, your neighbors are 10 miles away from you or some shit ridiculous like that. If you have all this fucking farmland out there,
that's insane.
You only know your own fucking life. It's literally like the Amish, except, like,
but it's also a peaceful life. Like, it's not necessarily
because they're
like
naive.
I don't think it's naive.
They don't have any comparison that they could be doing other things, so they're content in what they know.
Be living like them. We don't know what it's like to not have 20 million things to do all at the same time.
True.
We don't know what it's like to slow down and live like them and not have to worry about as much that is going on around us, because we live in such a highly populated, highly, like, busy area of the world. So, like, we don't even know if, like, their form of life is better or worse than ours. It's just different.
True. That reminds me of a funny thing. Someone was like, do the Amish know if COVID's happening?
Probably
But yet
not.
the Amish, like, fuck their, like, the dads, like, fuck their daughters, and the brothers, like, fuck their sisters.
Yeah.
So, like, they're, like, all, like, traditional in that aspect, but, like, yet they're doing, like, some fucked up shit like that.
They make
They
good
can't
pie.
have a light bulb, but, like, they can fuck their children? Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, it's like, where the fuck
They
is your
deny
actual,
themselves the
like,
experience
morals?
of technology. Skeptics, maybe. Traditionalists, yes.
I actually just learned that about the Amish, that they were, like, into
Goddamn.
incest. I was, like,
I didn't know
kinda
that, actually.
shocked.
But I kinda
I
figured.
believe it.
Makes
They're so
sense.
fucking. The circles are so fucking tight. It's either your cousin or your daughter, and I guess they're like, damn, I made
Yeah,
her.
like,
She cute because she looks like me. Like,
the gypsy shows, there was like, this is my
So
first
fucked up.
cousin Paul, like, we're like related, and so we're getting married. Okay, it's fucking scary.
Yeah.
and their kids come out great.
Oh, beautiful, with all their extra toes.
The way though those people were like considered scribes in some cultures, like if y'all see Midsummer,
Oh my god, don't
I
even
didn't
talk
see
about that
The
it.
fucking
child-
I couldn't watch
That
it
movie
alone.
scared the
I
shit
couldn't-
out of
no,
me.
we should watch it. This doesn't spoil it, but the child that was like born within like the same bloodline was like the one that knew all the information. It was like scribing things. Like they were in the church. They were essentially the shaman of that community.
I hate that.
And that's interesting that like they thought that something of pure blood was gonna like pure like this pure truth, just by nature because it's pure. But like no, there
No,
is
it's
no
just a
such thing
fucking
as
dumb
purity.
idea that man made
yeah,
up.
it's a dumb idea to think that there is such a thing as purity. There are things that could be more pure.
Nature's
no
not
such
even
thing.
perfect.
No.
It's like everything that's like in nature is like imperfect.
Exactly.
It's
So
like
I
if
think
it's
that's
perfect,
weird.
that means it was like. I mean, it's unnatural.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is that why we hate perfect things? It's because it's unnatural.
Or OCD people were born thinking that things have to be perfect, and that's why they're always like compulsively trying to fix things because everything feels wrong,
Yeah.
and there is no right, and that's why life is a struggle for them depending on how severe their OCD is. It's like, I guess they're just hyper aware of like perfect versus imperfect, and what their minds, what their bodies like making them feel is their definition of perfect and imperfect. Because like a lot of people are like, oh my god, like I feel this way because like this thing has to be alphabetical or this thing has to be organized like by Roy G. Biv, but it's like that's not necessarily what OCD is. Maybe that makes you feel at peace because like you're organizing things and you're making sense for yourself. But there's other people that like compulsatory like feel like this is legit the way things have to be, and that's the definition of perfect, and they're always trying to strive for it, and there's no such thing, and that's why like literally it's a mental like ailment.
Because it'd be fate.
I don't know anything that's perfect.
No, except for some ice cream.
That's a big fucking fact.
It's the simple pleasures in life. The brownies and cookies we ate, those are pretty fucking damn near
They're
perfect. No, the thing is, I'll take that back. They are perfect in that moment. Perfect always, that's a bold statement. But to say that something's perfect for that moment, I feel like that's more valid.
Yeah.
To think that something that's perfect has permanence, scary. Committal, not fucking possible, not logical, but for it to be perfect for that moment, I think that is something I'm more okay with thinking about and agreeing with.
Y'all, I gotta pee. It's like building.
It's building
Her
up.
walls are climbing. The piss is filling to the 2-gallon mark. The tank is
I'm
full.
surprised that I've actually been able to hold in my piss.
Yeah,
for
the
this
way
long.
that
The way
that
that-
piss conversation
yeah.
was an hour and a half ago.
What time? How long have we been recording?
Oh my god, almost 4 hours. That's 3 hours and 30
No
It's almost the other podcast.
No, girl, you literally texted me at 10:43. Got to pee. Was that before you said it out loud?
That was after.
Oh my God,
I
it's
said
been
it
an hour
we
and a
like
half
talked
then.
about it like an hour into the show that like we have to pee.
It's
Yeah,
true.
You know what?
can't
Now that
believe
you're
we
saying it
waited
more,
that-
I think I have to go.
I can't believe I waited
Can we cross
that long.
streams?
Can we cross
We
streams?
might as well. What else have we? It's one thing that we haven't done yet.
Me and Sam have been through a lot together. We did a lot of growing together, a lot of shared
did.
experiences. So there's a lot of things we can relate to when we move forward.
So that was the episode, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. We do episodes Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. And this is Matt signing out. Goodbye.